Much sass today. Okay, I love y'all anyway. Heard you got a new transition, my guy. Can I see it? Oh, Fix, you want to see the new transition? Deary, hello, so good to see you, Deary. We'll start off with talks. Yeah, I was about to ask for the reminder, but hang on. Fix is asking about the transition. You mean this transition? Ooh. You mean that one? Is that the one? Yeah. Uh huh. Oh no, not that transition. That one's not so good. But this one. What about and? Ooh. Yes. Fix, thank you so much for asking about that transition. What the fuck is that emote note? Salt went ooh-woo. I did not go ooh-woo. I went ooh. That's different. This game is very supportive of transitions. That is true. Jack, hello as well. So good to see you. No, that was just no. There's a big difference between ooh, 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 which is what that was, and ooh-woo. Ooh-woo is very different. Yes, thank you for all the ooh-woos in chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. We are officially starting step 3, and yet chat has accomplished. It's true. Weak defense wouldn't stand in court. Alice, rough. Oh my god. I had asked Mara before what was a good place to start. Mara suggested talks, and I think that's pretty great, so we're gonna start there. Not even Phoenix Wright can save that one for you. Listen, Phoenix Wright can't save shit from fuck without help. If you weren't in Phoenix Wright's brain, he wouldn't be able to do a damn thing. Eldritch Uwu be like... What is going on in chat? Don't feel bad. I got clips saying co-wove. What's this? Oh no. Eldritch Uwu. Would that be like Rilia Cthulhu Fatagan? Is that an Eldritch Uwu? And then Fix is giving us, what is this? Computer Uwu? Just ooh woo. Oh, whoa. I like it. It's perfect. It's great. Biblically accurate ooh. Oh, wow. Yes, Alice, that's what I said. Cthulhu. Holy shit. Alright, I would like to thank chat for derailing me before I could even start a chapter. I'm proud of you all so much. Okay. Let's do a quick config here, because I think the music could come up a little bit. Y'all are fantastic. The difference between Salt Our Life and Mara Our Life is like night and day. It is true. Mara Our Life is calm and peaceful and just like a lovely relaxing time, and ours attempts to be that and then careens off the road into a village within seconds. All right, let's get into it. Let's do it. This is talks, and we're gonna start. Also, literally, that is true. Let's do it. All right, talks. Let's go. ASM Mara, yes, good shit. Okay, I will do my best to bring us to a good vibe. You guys always bring the good vibes, though. I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for being here. Let's go. You got this, bud. I believe I don't. Another placid summer day was drifting by. Your dreams were chasing each other, your daydreams were chasing each other, none sticking around long enough to become a firm plan. But you didn't really mind that right now. A tapping worked its way into those dreams. Focusing more, you realized it was coming from your window. A grin popped on your face, as though it had been waiting all day for this moment. Brings bad vibes. No, you don't bring bad vibes, you just bring wonderful chaos. Heading to the window, you could see Cove outside. His habit of climbing this way was really a true Coveism. There we go, that's a nice word. He'd rather scale your house than wait the couple extra minutes for you to come down. Watch me, you suck. It's not a horny bonk, it's just a bonk. Bix, thank you for that lurk, I really appreciate you. You decide to give him space? No, we're gonna help him up. You offered Cove a hand to help him. Once he was mostly inside, he took it to help steady the last bit of his entrance. He needed the help despite how many times he'd done this.
Hey.
Hey, Cygnus. Hey, Cove. Hey to you. Yeah, our Cove looks fucking great. We've got a winner here. Mod's taking out the ban hammer? Nah, just the bop hammer. We're not banning anybody. You think my mom should invest in some bigger windows? Cove laughed at that and took one last look at his exclusive entrance. He hummed with a teasing look on his face. I would like to be as pretty as this man. Cove is a pretty young man, it's true. Maybe. Cove's voice came out quietly with a strangely pleased smile on his face. Did something happen? Cove opened his mouth to answer, only to have your phone ringing cut him off. You both turned to where it rested a little further up on your bed. It was still face down, so you couldn't tell who was calling. It's okay. Your attention shot back to Cove. He smiled at you awkwardly.
Don't worry about it.
Whoops.
Don't worry about it.
Go check. It could be important. I'll wait. Maybe would like to dye your hair this color? Ooh, it is a really cool color. Thanks. You shuffled forward and scooped the little noisemaker into your hand. You flipped it over and checked the caller ID. It's Miranda. You should answer it. I want to say hi too. Is this a game about self-care, self-love? That sounds wholesome. So, dearie, this is a visual novel called Our Life Beginnings and Always. It starts when your characters are at the age of 8, and Cove is the little boy who moves across the street. And it's basically a very wholesome story that has potential romance if you want to, and doesn't have the romance if you don't want to. But it's basically you and Cove and some other kids around you all growing up together. And it's like it's a big slice of life visual novel, and it's really wholesome. Mostly good feels. It gets into some serious topics from time to time, but it's all done in a very holistic and wholesome way. And one of the best features about this game is how absolutely truly customizable it is. You design your main character, you name them, you pick their pronouns, and you pick their gender. They can change pronouns and gender from step to step. Each step takes place at 5 years apart. So you start at the age of 8, then at 13, and now we're in step 3 at the age of 18. And then there is a 4th step 5 years after that where you're 23, which is a little bit more of an epilogue when you're a bit more of a young adult. But yeah, it's super queer positive, trans positive, ace positive. It's great. It's super wholesome and sweet. And you can really tailor make your story the way you want to. And you can play it a bunch of times. And every time you play it, you can tell a bit of a different story if you want to, which is really cool. And you can change your decisions at any time within reason. So it really is about experiencing the story how you want to experience it, rather than a winning or losing mechanic, which is really nice. So in this playthrough, our main character is a boy by the name of Cygnus, we very much have fallen into a cute young love romantic relationship with Cove. So at this point in the story, Cove and I are officially partners. and we've pretty much made it clear that we are very, very infatuated with each other. And we're dealing with the reality of the fact that we're both 18 now, and we have to figure out the next steps in our lives. And this is the last summer we have together, as post high school kids, and everything kind of changes from here. So we got to try and figure that out, but we're still trying to have a good summer. Cove is cute. Cove is an absolute cutie. Everybody in this game, there are very few characters in this game that aren't hot. Either if they're kids, they're really adorable, and if they're adults, they're all just gorgeous. Like, everybody in this game is gorgeous. I always struggle to pick an option. Glad to know there's no right or wrong answer. Not only that, dearie, but I can even scroll backwards. So, like, if I click something and it's not the choice I wanted to make, I can always just scroll back and undo it, which is really nice. So if you ever make a mistake, or you click an option and it doesn't play out the way you thought it was going to play out, you can kind of just go and rewind back and fix it if you want to. Yeah, because again, this is all about just enjoying the story how you want to enjoy it, which I think is wonderful. You're late to the Mar raid, but hi, Tom. Hello. Also, how are you? How is everybody doing? It's so good to see you. AMC me, Mick me. I forget. You told me how to pronounce it, and I forgot, and I apologize. It was in my head, but my ADHD brain kicked it out. I would like to be reminded how to properly pronounce your name on Twitch. AMC me. Okay, it is AMC me. Great. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I very much appreciate that. Tom was busy swimming across the ocean. I had it. Yeah, see, I had it, and then I second-guessed myself. Tom is an Olympic-level swimmer who has swam all the way here, and I appreciate it. All right, let's get back into it. I swam across the ocean in one sentence. I'm confused. With a nod, you accepted the call and set it to speaker. I love this phone looks so much like my actual phone. Hi, Miranda. Hi. Ooh. Uh-oh. Not so excited. It was terrifying and impressive. Oh my god. There was something off about her tone. Cove met your gaze, and you saw the same confusion in his expression. Wish phone charms were still a thing? I know, they're so cute. And that little phone charm was actually a gift from Cove when we were 8 years old. He bought that for us when we were kids, and now I use it as my cell phone charm. So, not only is it a phone charm, it's a really cute phone charm with a history.
Have you heard from Terry?
Have you heard from Terry at all? Or did you hear about her from Cove? Huh? No, she hasn't called me. But Cove is with me right now. This entire game is fucking adorable, it's true. Hey. Oh, hi, Cove. Is that what you were going to say? He shook his head no before realizing that it wasn't a good enough answer when one person couldn't actually see it. Miranda has so many voiced lines. It's true.
No.
No, Terry hasn't called me today either. Is something wrong? At that, Miranda couldn't hold herself together anymore. The muffled sobs from the other side of the line were unmistakable. Terry doesn't like me anymore. If she ever did, uh-oh. What? That doesn't sound right. You're probably her best friend out of all of us. Yeah, why do you think that? She sniffled, and there was a pause as you could hear her shift the phone to her other hand. Terry was here the other night watching movies with me. We were up super late. We realized her parents probably went to bed, so they couldn't pick her up. My mom and dad were definitely asleep then. Dad works early. I tried telling her it was okay to just spend the night and she could text her parents what happened, but Terry didn't really want to. You glanced at Cove. He looked equally unsure as you about where the story was going. It didn't sound like a friendship ending situation. I suggested things to make it easier if she was nervous, like she could come sleep by herself in my room while I stayed somewhere else. Yeah. And I said we didn't have to sleep at all. We could keep watching movies until one of our parents woke up. I wouldn't have minded. I know not everyone can do sleepovers, but Terry wouldn't even tell me what was really wrong or what I could do to help. I thought we could tell each other anything. I guess I was wrong. Did she stay in the end?
No.
No. We got too loud in the kitchen and my dad woke up. He offered to drive her home when he heard what was wrong. She texted me apologizing for my dad having to do that when he needed to rest, but that was it. He isn't talking to me anymore. Joel Rose, so good to see you. You could hear every bit of the tears and heartbreak in Miranda's voice. This continued to be a shock for your neighbor, but Cove recovered and spoke gently. I'm really sorry.
I mean...
There's no way Terry wanted to make you feel this bad, or that she's just done with your friendship because of this. Miranda's sniffing continued. You hoped she had plenty of tissues handy. It'll be okay. I hope Terry is alright. It was really weird she reacted like that. Not a big deal, honestly. Weren't sure what to say. Right now, we need to comfort Miranda. We'll figure out Terry later, but right now we gotta comfort Miranda. It'll be okay. It had to be. You couldn't imagine any alternative. Miranda's voice sounded a little bit more collected after finishing her story, but you knew that the crying was far from being done. I thought she'd have reached out to one of you by now. Maybe she's not talking to anyone. Yeah. Sorry for bothering you and Cove about this. Hey, we're here for you.
Right.
Right, you can tell us things. Thank you. Her shaking voice finally conveyed a little optimism, or at least relief that she wasn't dealing with it entirely on her own.
Is that all right?
If you do hear from her or anything, could you let me know if she's all right? We can. Thanks. Let's talk later, okay? Bye. 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 That didn't really seem like an especially productive point to end the call, though you also weren't sure where to go from there. Looking to Cove, his face seemed as lost as yours. With no alternative, you hung up and put your phone back on your bed. Cove crossed his arms, a frown creasing his face. He began to pace the length of your room, clearly trying to put the pieces together in his head in a way that made sense. You were worried, you were pretty confident about this working out well, it sounded like trouble to you, weren't sure how to react. To me it sounds like there's something going on with Terry. Terry wouldn't intentionally cut out Miranda like that, full stop. Clearly something else was at play, but you just couldn't be sure what it was yet. Then again, it might be better just to wait for them to work it out between the two of them. Maybe it wasn't your place to intervene at all. The empty state of your head before learning this was not helping you now. You couldn't put two thoughts together, and flopping back on your bed, you stared into space. We should probably try calling Terry. Cove's voice managed to drag you back to some grounding. He'd stopped pacing, but you still saw a perturbed look on his face. Yeah, I'm worried about her too. He bounced up and moved to his side, ready to act on whatever plan you two could come up with. Cove started with the easiest thing. He pulled out his phone and called Terry. Cove let it ring and ring and ring and ring. Terry didn't answer. There wasn't even an option to leave a voice message. Your shoulders slumped, and Cove looked even more troubled, if that was possible. He turned to you as if for some lifeline. Did you try calling? I'm gonna send a text just like, hey, I was trying to reach you, call me, or something. Yeah. You took up your phone once more. Unfortunately, after another set of interminable rings, the line went dead. No answer, no voicemail. Hanging up, you saw Cove visibly deflate. He rubbed his arm, eyes distant, openly struggling with the whole affair. I don't like this at all. They're fighting, we barely know anything, and we're supposed to just wait and see? Despite it only being a minute since he texted Terry, Cove checked his phone again. He was desperate for progress, for something, and you frowned as you watched him. to try to relax. You're making me anxious. There's no way Terry has answered you. They're going to get over it. You know you stayed silent. Try and relax. Cove stared hard at the screen as though he was trying to will a new message to appear. As your words sank in, his gaze slid over towards you. Just a little bit? Come on, you're working yourself up. Closing his eyes, he took a deep breath and released it slowly. It wasn't much, but you could see him ease up slightly. Yeah, you're probably right. Cove was still gripping his phone with both hands as though it might fly away if he let go. He looked to you with an almost painful earnestness. Should we, what do we even say if we do hear from one of them? Hello, LMP. Thank you for the lurk. That emote is really cute. Hope you're doing well, my friend. His pacing resumed as he attempted to answer his own question. But it was written all over his face that he had no idea how to tackle any of this. He slowly came to another halt. Thank you for the subscription. As LMP bombarded me with 5 gifties. Oh my god. Goriel the Lich, RKJ McGee, Chasmium Jack, and Dawkus? Let's fucking go. Holy shit. LMP. Oh! So once again, it only updated a few of the numbers. We were at 94 when we started. That emote makes it look like LMP tripped and all the gifties fell out. Oh my god. That's really fucking cute. That's actually really cute. But that actually puts us at 99. So that number is wrong. That puts us at 99 out of 500, which puts us basically at 20%. That puts us basically at 20% of the fucking way. Oh my god. For the subscription. Fine, 100. Hang on, I'm gonna quickly bump it up. Give me 2 seconds. I know. This thing does such weird shit. I'm gonna properly bump it to 100. We are now at exactly 20% of the way there. Sheesh, y'all. Sorry. I just triggered a few emotes. I just triggered a few old ones to actually get it to actually bump up. There we go. There we go. I feel like LMP should see this progress. Exactly 100. Oh my god. LMP wants Kingdom Hearts really badly. Thank you. Thank you. You are insane and incredible. And yes, please shout out LMP. Absolute legend. Wow. Wow. Holy fuck. Alright, we had gotten too far into reading the story without something derailing. LMP had to do something. You have plans this Friday? LMP, that scares me. LMP, that scares me. I will say this, whatever dastardly plans you are making, if they're meant to be during my stream, I sadly won't be streaming this Friday, because I have another thing that I need to do, unfortunately. Yes, LMP, just single word, yes. They will happen off stream. That is the most ominous thing I've ever heard. LMP, you fucking terrify me. You're incredible. You're amazing. You're incredible. Fucking salute to the real one. For real. For real. Wow. Wow. Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's attempt this sentence again. God. Oh my god, I think I just fixed my hand pain. What? Really? Just do a chair stream to document LMP violence? Oh my god. If LMP does something to me while I'm off stream, I'm gonna, like, I'll probably make a fucking video. Oh my god. I can't even. Holy fuck. I don't know how, but I moved in an odd way and it's just gone. Alice, that's fine. You don't, I mean, it would be nice if you knew what you did, but, like, just embrace it. Now, Alice, I need you to do me one thing. Alice, I need you to do me one thing. The hand pain is gone. Do not abuse this. Let the hand pain just not exist for a little bit. Do not immediately start arting because you have no hand pain. Fuck you! I'm unsubbing! Streamer encourages self-care in community member. Community member unsubs and tells them to fuck off. Alice unfollows again. I see how it is. Okay, that's fair. I've been punished. Alice chose violence in front of Cove, hoping Cove would appreciate it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, y'all. Woo! Alright. Our Life Wednesday is off to a rip-roaring good start. Holy fuck. Hang on, I gotta check one more thing. To actually check a quick thing. Okay. I was worried that LMP did that while streaming again. I was about to be like, should I have LMP up lurking in my background? LMP did it once before. So LMP, you know, drops the lurk, then drops the sub bomb. I'm like, are you streaming again? Are you doing this to me while you're streaming again? Okay, not today. Alright. For the record, LMP. The L in LMP stands for lunatic. It stands for L goated. Le goated. It's French. Not technically wrong. Woo. Alright, let's read this story. Book. Wholesome book times. Alright. He slowly came to another halt, like a gear winding down. We should find out Terry's side of the story. We should just comfort Miranda and let up with Terry. No, we need to find Terry's side of the story. Nothing could be done until you knew what she thought of this. That much was certain. Cove nodded slightly in agreement. For several minutes, you both remained there in silence, drowning in your thoughts. Eventually, Cove turned around. I'm gonna text Terry that we already know what's going on. Maybe she'll have an easier time talking to us because she won't have to pretend or explain. Yeah, that might be the only way to get her attention. We can't do that. Miranda didn't say it was alright to admit she talked to us. I think you're pushing too much. Why are you so fixated on this? It's not a good idea. Cove, not at all. See, the only two... I'm kind of stuck between this. How much do we meddle? See, honestly, my concern is that her phone isn't even going to voicemail. That, like, assuming that this world is using real-world logic, that means her phone is off. Or her battery is dead. So if I was... like, obviously what would Cygnus Lefteris do? But if I was 18... and my friend's phone was going straight to fucking nothing, like not even voicemail, this would be about the time that I would have taken my mom's car and, like, driven to their fucking house. Because I would have been like, I'm worried you're in danger. And I would have just, like, shown the fuck up at their front door. If your phone is off, it'll go straight to voicemail? Yes, but the other reason why it will go straight to voicemail is if the battery's dead. So, like, if voicemail may also not be set up, the way that the text is written, it seemed peculiar that it didn't go to voicemail, implying that it normally would. So the phone is either off or it's dead. And so, role-playing this, what would Cygnus do? What would Lefteris do? Lefteris is kind of fucking gung-ho about shit. These calls aren't going straight to voicemail, it just keeps ringing. Well, what it's doing is it keeps ringing and then it cuts off. So, if the phone was on, it will eventually stop ringing and go to voicemail. If the phone is off, a phone that is off or dead will go straight to voicemail? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because if you just leave a phone ringing, it will eventually go to voicemail too. So if it's not going to voicemail, then something is dead. Like, every phone has a limited number of rings before it will trigger voicemail. There is something very peculiar about this. So let's do what Cove and Cygnus do best, which is face first into everything. With the two of you on the same page, he steeled his gaze to prepare for taking this next step. Cove's fingers worked furiously, yet carefully. He was giving his full attention to his words. You sidled up next to him and looked, trying to watch what he was writing. Cove rapidly typed out, Hey, Cygnus and I really want to talk to you. Miranda told us about what happened. Please reply back. And sent. It was done. We'll just have to see what happens now. Quietly, you felt nervous. Wish you weren't concerned with everyone else's feelings but mine. That's weird. They'll definitely be alright, Cove. Things are okay. Hopefully she gets back to us pretty soon. Me too. Yeah, there we go. From just his face, you could tell this wasn't going to do much for him. He was going to be stuck thinking about this until Terry replied. A small noise escaped his lips. All the frustration of the situation crumbled away from his face, and he spoke softly. Thanks, Cygnus. I'm glad it's not just me with all this happening. Cove took one last look at his phone, and then put it away. His effort at a smile was meager, but earnest. They are so soft, it's really cute.
It's okay.
We can just forget about it for a while. Terry will talk to us when she wants to. Smile just a bit. Finally. Oh my god! A lot of my options are really fucking rude all of a sudden. That sounds good to me. And you meant it, exhaling some of your own concern away. The last thing you wanted was to fight with Cove. A silence stretched on in what felt like hours, but it likely wasn't that long before there was a knock at your bedroom door, and Mom peeked in. Just wanted to check in on you. Oh, Cove, when did you get here? Mom very much is like... Oh, right, gray hair Mom. Wow, yep. When she saw you were there, she opened the door all the way. Ma was standing there as well. She slipped past her wife to come inside your space. Obligatory gay panic. There you go. Hey, Art. Oh yeah, yeah, Art. These are our parents. This is Mom and Ma. They've aged gracefully. I wasn't kidding when I said everybody in this fucking game is hot. Everybody in this game is hot. Mommy? Yeah, you have two to choose from, Art. Milvs. Yeah, I hope to age equally gracefully. I already haven't. I already have not aged as gracefully as these two. These two have got to be 15 years older than me at least. And I have aged worse than them. Milvs. Yeah, Tom, hold on to that one. Hold on to that word. That is an important word. It will continue to be relevant in this game. What's going on? We're okay. It's just, I am looking respectfully. Do your best, Art. Miranda called earlier. She and Terry are fighting, but none of us know what's going on with Terry. Your parents exchanged a meaningful look, though its meaning was lost on you. Just wait till you see Cliff Holden. Yeah, Cove's dad. Cove's dad. Woo!
I'm so sorry.
Dilf Holden, it's fucking true. Jesus Christ. That's too bad. I'm sorry there's trouble with your friends, sweetie. Is there anything we can do to help? Out of the corner of your eye, you saw Cove rub his arm awkwardly, unable to add anything. Holden, my Dilf. Yeah, right? No, we're just waiting to see if Terry calls or texts, or if Miranda does. Right, yeah, so you didn't get shirtless Dilf Holden either? Wait, you can get shirtless Dilf Holden? I feel ripped off. I feel ripped off. How the fuck do you get shirtless fucking Cliff? Well, we can at least help you take your mind off of things while you're waiting.
Yeah.
If you walk Cove home after the sleepover. Oh. Yeah, true. Instead of convincing him to stay. I see. Okay. Another great idea, Lonnie. We can get the whole gang together for some quality time. Yeah, it'll be wonderful. I'll go see what Liz is up to right now. He's got that swimmer's bod? Of course he does. He's a surfer dude. Woof. Excited, she fluttered a few steps away, then stopped. She pivoted on her heels and raised a single finger, flashing a big smile at Cove.
It's no trouble.
And of course, Cliff will be welcome too. Knowing your family was always there for you, couldn't be underestimated. In fact, it meant everything to you that your mums cared so much. I really appreciate this. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. That's nice of you.
You're welcome.
Cove is trying so hard to be a respectful young boy because it is so fucking, like... They're like, well, these are going to be my mom-in-laws one day. I better start being on my best fucking behavior. Don't sweat it, not so kiddos. Leave things to us. Okay, that is an adorable mom joke, and I appreciate that. Just relax, and we'll call you when it's all together. You nodded, and your moms dispersed for now, springing into action for their impromptu get-together. You flopped down on your bed, feeling like you could sink into it and disappear. Cove, meanwhile, took a spot on a chair off to the side. You sighed at the same time, and Cove's mouth pulled into a bent smile at that. Gave his phone another quick check, and his eyebrows furrowed. Still nothing? Yup. This is crap, huh? Yup. Cove chewed the inside of his cheek as if to mimic the stress that was clearly eating away at him. Cove, what's wrong? What's really wrong? One disagreement doesn't make you act like this. That got a pointed pause in his movement. Cove was carefully trying to put his thoughts together. He spoke in a fragile voice. When people you care about, when they're unhappy with each other, there's nothing you can do. At least when you're in a fight yourself, you have some responsibility, some control over it all. I wish it didn't have to happen, but that isn't possible, so oh well, I guess. His attempt at giving a nonchalant shrug after that was pitiable. And there's the divorce trauma. I was literally about to say the same thing, Pint. I'm like, oh, there it is. Yeah, it makes me feel horrible too. In your lap, your hands momentarily curled into fists. This kind of powerlessness, it wore you down. You looked to Cove and were reassured by his understanding nod. There was a question you had to ask. There it is! Is it because of what happened with your parents? Cove ran a hand through his hair, a strange smile spreading across his lips. For him, this pain struck close to his heart. Yeah, Lefteris doesn't like to be powerless. That's fucking true! That's true. Cove's parents have been divorced for a decade now. Just as quickly as it had come, his smile was gone, lost amidst his faraway gaze. Good night. Good night, Jack. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you for the subscription.
Chessie, let's go. Sheesh, I'll make banana bread soon just for that big man. Chessie, let's go on the 11-month streak, you legend. Fucking love you. How the hell are you, Chessie? Puts us at 101. Good God. You're less sick than yesterday? That makes me really happy to hear. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. Back to lurking? No problem, Bayburn. Thank you for the lurk. Hello, Sombra. So good to see you. 101, where are the Dalmatians? Well, I'm sure the Dalmatians are somewhere in Kingdom Hearts, which we are now 20% of the way to finding out, aren't we? You had COVID third vax? Oh, Chessie, that's wonderful. I'm sorry that it's making you feel like poop, but I'm really glad to hear you got that vax. And Sombra, I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, you got it. It's just like my parents. Despite knowing him for so many years, Cove had never spoken of the years before he moved to Sunset Bird, before his parents separated, in any detail. I still need to get my third vax. I need to find a way to leave my house. I have my appointment. My appointment is for the beginning of February. I just didn't bother moving it after I got COVID. I figured I would just let the natural immunity kind of run its course for a bit, and then I'll get the appointment I already had, rather than trying to fight for an earlier one. Get that third middle finger to COVID? Hell yeah. I fell asleep about 2 hours ago on the sofa, and now I'm awake at 2 a.m. Sombra, oh no. Can you get a third vac even if you've already gotten COVID? Yes, you can, Chessie. Yes, you can. They don't want you to do it immediately, but you absolutely can. Which is why I'm waiting. Because I got COVID and so did Pellamore. Yeah, I got COVID and so did Pellamore at the same time, and Pella was able to had already had an appointment for her booster, so she already got it, and I'll be getting mine in a couple weeks. It's just complicated right now. Can't leave my wife alone with the kids as she currently cannot lift things. Yeah, that is very fair, Jolro. That is very fair. Planning on getting mine as soon as you're able? Heck yeah. Yeah, Sombra, it's good to see you. I'm sorry under the circumstances, but it is very lovely to see you, as always. He whispered his thoughts distantly, almost unconcerned with whether you could hear them or not.
That's...
We're finally gonna hear some stuff, are we? They used to fight all the time. I think they got along when I was a baby. I mean, they had to have wanted to be with each other at some point. But when I was old enough to remember anything, it was already bad. There was always something wrong, and I could never help. I just wanted them to be happy. You tried to imagine your moms breaking up, but the very idea scared you. Cove had endured that for real. We're getting the real feels now. I need to take a shower, but I have a cat on my lap. Guess I'll wait. That is a mood, Joro. And yeah, I can relate to this a little bit, Cove. I literally do not have a memory of my parents getting along. So I can relate to Cove on this very, very, very directly. That is true. Literally doing that right now. That's really funny, Joro. The cat has chosen its spot. You cannot move. I'm sorry.
Cygnus.
Cygnus.
Don't worry about it.
Despite that revelation, Cove gazed reassuringly at you. It's not like that anymore. Things are so different now. I don't even really think about it. Again, the sorrow reasserted itself. When he continued, you could barely hear him. Though I guess it's pretty obvious I haven't forgotten either. You tried to smile, you crossed the room, took his hand, went over, placed a hand on his shoulder, you hugged him, you kissed him. This doesn't feel like a kiss moment. This feels like a big hug moment. We're gonna give Cove some huggy love. He doesn't do this to anyone else, just me. 'Cause he loves you. Hug the boy. Yes, we must hug the boy. You crossed the room, picking up a little bit of speed, and Cove's eyes widened. He shot out of the chair and stood waiting for you with a nonplussed look. When you collided into him, wrapping your arms around his middle and knocking the air out of his lungs, all mystery was gone. Cove squeaked.
Oh.
Oh. He returned the gesture longingly. Exhaling, you leaned down and pressed your cheek into the warmth of his neck. The tension stuck in your chest released like a river flowing into the ocean. That was Cove. Aww. Also, you leaned down. We're actually taller than Cove now, confirmed. The firmness of his hug told you Cove didn't plan on letting go anytime soon. You both needed the comfort and closeness for just a little bit longer. When he finally did, he kept hold of your hand. The two of you took a seat again, this time side by side on your bed. It's so fucking cute. It's so good. Today was a lot, huh? Yeah, it was. Cove is like 6'1" at this point. That actually scans. That actually scans because there's only one game that Lefteris has been in where I actually got to choose his height, and he was 6'6". So if Cove is 6'1", Cygnus Lefteris should canonically end up taller. Oh, yeah. Lefteris is built like a shit brick house, what can I say? Leaned against him. Resting the side of your head onto his shoulder, you glanced up at his face. Cove watched you affectionately. The L in Lefteris stands for long bear. In that gentle gaze, you finally felt like everything was going to be okay. No matter what happens, we can make it work. His mouth pulled into a bent smile at that. You chuckled, resting your head comfortably back on his shoulder.
Me too.
I think so too. He couldn't sit still anymore. Cove leaned in, delicately pressing his lips to your forehead, and he raised one free hand to lightly touch your jaw. The breath got caught in your throat. When you remembered to breathe, blood rushed to your face, turning your skin a deep red. Be back later? Hell yeah, Joel Road, take care of yourself. Is anyone in this game Tom-shaped, or are they all hot? That's a trick question, Tom, because you're also hot, so you hush. Same hat, Mara. You tried not to think about how hot you were feeling, because after everything that happened today, you were just grateful for the moment. For a while, you stayed like that. A comfortable quiet fell between you, and the sun fell with it. I feel like everyone in this game came out of a magazine. Everyone in this game is, like, pretty. Everyone in this game is very pretty. It is true. But you know who else is fucking gorgeous? You are, Tom. Fucking deal with it. The warming calm ended when Cove gasped sharply. You spun, half expecting to find him nursing an injury, but instead found him staring straight ahead. Magazines wish they were this game. I mean, that's true. What?
Oh my god.
I think my phone just vibrated. Check it out. Right. Patted his pockets, fumbling in his panic, and then yanked the phone out. The force of the action nearly catapulted the device out of his grip entirely, but he caught it just in time. You dummy. I love it. His eyes honed in on the screen. It's Terry, thank God. She says she's sorry. He looked back at you, eyes wide as his nerves started to fray once more. What should I say? Ask if she's talking to Miranda. Yeah, let's ask her what's going on. Ask her what's going on. Ask her what's going on. That's the better one. Okay. He's such a dork and I love him. He is such a dork. It's the best. He nodded and began typing. Cove was aware that his blunt words could sometimes make others bristle, even though he never meant them to hurt. Cove's phone buzzed nearly as soon as the message was sent. Ah, it's Terry again. She's talking to us. She asked about what Miranda said, but wait. You leaned in, watching the conversation unfold on Cove's screen.
Right.
She's gonna actually call. Cove held his breath as he waited. His circle of friends had always been small, so he'd have managed to avoid the stress of seeing friends fighting. You suspected he was feeling this even more keenly, both because this was so uncommon and the friends so important to him. His phone rang out. Cove jammed the answer button. He switched the phone to speaker mode, allowing you to participate in the conversation. But despite his immediate reaction, his voice lacked the same resolve when he spoke. Hey. It was a tentative, white flag fluttering in the wind. Cygnus is here too. Hi, we've been worried about you.
Hey.
Hey, buddies. Harry's voice was barely recognizable without her usual quick patter and energy.
Are you okay?
Are things okay? I don't know. Probably not. Cove tensed, his free hand coiling into an anxious fist. What happened? Don't you know already? Miranda explained some of it, but it doesn't make sense to us. You heard Terry sigh over the phone as she unburdened herself. Pretty much, I was at Randy's house. We decided to watch some movies I super liked that I'd never even seen before. Sorry. Coda! Hello, friends. Hello, Salt. What's good? You're good. You fucking rock. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Thank you for the 69 biddies. Let's fucking go. Nice, 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 nice. How are you doing, buddy? How are things? You know, we're just having good feels tonight. Well, right now there's some friendship drama, but mostly good vibes. Mostly good vibes. Big love to you, my dude. All right, we're getting some answers here. Thank you so much for the 169 fucking biddies. Pretty much, I was at Randy's house. We decided to watch some movies she super liked that I'd never even seen before. Turns out there's a lot of those. We watched one, then another, and another. We were having so much fun. Each time one finished, she had another one to share with me. I didn't really think about the time. I only wanted to say yes to Randy and watch her movies. Oh, she gay. She spoke wistfully, but her words were full of affection. Big love, I hope you're enjoying this lovely game. This game has been so much fun. It's been really great. Oh, she's so fucking gay. I love it. It was Randy, you know? I wasn't thinking about my schedule or what time it was. I get it, says Cygnus. Cygnus is like, yeah, I get it. Just get to the point where you clue in. And then I finally saw the time, and oh no, it was way too late. I already knew I couldn't stay. Took a deep breath, her voice becoming softer when she resumed talking. I was so stressed out. I couldn't deal with it. Miranda wanted to help. She kept coming up with ways to make it better and trying to figure out why I was so upset and stuff. I was trying to answer her questions, and there were so many, but I couldn't really answer all of them, and I didn't even know why some of her ideas didn't work with me. It made my head ache. I still had the first problem and Randy there trying to help, blasting all these questions and suggestions at me faster than I could even think. He gulped audibly, sniffing. I got frustrated and told her just to leave me alone, but then she wanted to talk about why I wanted that, and we started having a fight in the kitchen. It woke Randy's dad up. We told him about how I wanted to go home, but my parents couldn't get to me, so Mr. Eckert offered to do it. That's nice of him. Harry groaned. I know. I accepted because I definitely couldn't stay then, not after throwing a racket and turning it into a big deal. I feel awful and embarrassed. Why did I yell at Randy and hurt her feelings? I made her dad lose sleep by waking him up and having to drive me home. Ah, it's grand old case of we both are horrible people, but neither one of you are actually horrible people. What do you say after that? I have no idea. I don't know where to start. And I don't want to make it worse by saying the wrong thing and fighting again. So I'm not talking. Good old case of overwhelm. Yup. Terry, Randy isn't mad that you didn't want to stay or that you fought. She just feels like... She just wants you to feel like you can talk to her. I mean, you can say whatever you want. She'll listen. Not talking to her at all is pretty much the only wrong way to go about it. Terry lamented mournfully on the other end of the line, but he had a point. Unless she faced Miranda again, there would be no resolution. You looked at Cove, hunched over the phone, staring pensively into it and looking for a solution. This couldn't be solved with the other key party missing. What if you brought them in? Your phone was still free. You suggested calling up Miranda, you rung up Miranda without saying a word. No. We get permission first. That's just gonna make her flustered. What if we called Miranda? That way you could talk to her, but wouldn't have to do it alone. Cove brightened up. The concerned furrow in his brow, which had taken root when Miranda first called, eased.
Well...
That could work. Harry, are you up for it? She made a noise that wasn't a word, but nevertheless conveyed her hesitation and worry. I think the word you're looking for is... Babies, I don't know how to do merge calls. Ah, so you're not a student of the Clifford Surprise School of Conflict Resolution, I see. Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Alright, let's get this phone call going. But she brought it to a close with a decisive exhalation, as if pushing all negative thoughts from her body. Alright, I'll do it. Cove nodded. Now that you'd received approval from everyone, you pulled out your phone and called Miranda. You set it to speaker and waited for her to pick up. Luckily, she did.
Hi.
Hi, Cygnus. Her voice was still distant, as if her thoughts were elsewhere, but it was loud enough for your needs. Hi, you're on speaker. Terry is on speaker too, on Cove's phone. Oh. She paused while she digested this information, watched the phone screen, hoping she wouldn't hang up as a result.
Really?
Oh, really? Yep, it's really me. Can you hear my voice all the way from your house to theirs and then mine? I can. You and Cove exchanged looks, waiting for the wall between them to break and wondering who would be the one to do it. As the quiet dragged on, you caught Cove chewing his cheek. That happy little crab looks so out of place in the scene, but it just wants you to be happy. Yeah, the crab's trying. He must have weighed up the same questions as you, whether to encourage the conversation along or leave Miranda and Terry resolve it themselves. The answer came in the form of one sniff, followed by another from Cove's phone.
Sorry.
Sorry, Randy. I hope you still like me. What? You were the one acting as if you didn't like me. Her tone was defensive, no doubt a result of her wounds from last night still being raw.
What?
No way! Everyone likes Randy. You're wonderful. Your eyes met Cove's. His phone was tilted towards you, capturing the call indirectly. You moved your phone closer to his, hoping that the signal was strong enough to convey the nuance of tone. Cove did likewise, bringing his cell right next to yours, even bumping against it as he shifted the grip. Yes, because that's how you make sure the conversation is clearer, by smushing the phones together. Y'all, congratulations, our characters are gay and stupid. I didn't know what to say. That's the only reason I wouldn't talk to you. If I had known the answer, I would have told you right away. Miranda murmured on the other end of the line. Just do a three-way call, you dumbos. Look, okay, you have channeled Himbo for 10 years. I mean, that's true. We have aggressively channeled Himbo for 10 years. It's so easy on a cell phone. Pint, former mobile assistant that you would call, losing her shit. You didn't want to stay. Anything I tried to do bothered you, and you could have told me you didn't know. Yeah, I think I was angry at myself. I did a dumb thing, and I didn't want help with it. I wanted to be mad and just deal with it myself. It made me keep doing dumb things. Oh. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet, as tender and vulnerable as the words.
I'm sorry.
Staying up late watching stuff was my fault. I had to find a way to fix it. That's what I thought anyway, but I should have given you space. I'm sorry for being so pushy and sensitive. Hardly. Miranda Eckert having a flaw? I've never heard of such a crazy thing. Miranda let out a ghost of a giggle. Cove cleared his throat. This setup is a migraine waiting to happen. Pined, oh my god. Maybe you should call each other now? Sorry.
Sure.
Can do. Thanks for giving me a kick in the butt to do this already. Mandy. I'm gonna call you right now. Bye, Cygnus and Cove. She hung up after squeezing in another quick bye, though not giving you or Cove room to respond in kind. Miranda laughed, noise tinkling gently like wind chimes in a summer breeze.
You're really nice.
Thank you for listening and helping. I'm gonna hang up now so I can answer Terry's call. Bye. Bye. Talk to you soon. Miranda hung up, still chuckling softly as your call ended. The room felt emptier without... Conflict resolution, baby! The room felt emptier without the other voices in it. Cove expelled a sigh that crashed through the newly fallen silence. Be a crab! It's true. Crab-based problem solving. He dropped his arms to his side, letting his head hang down like a puppet at rest. Thank God. I'm so relieved it's okay. Cove scratched at his face, his expression cloudy. I think I need to find better ways for dealing with conflict because that was awful. Cove having insight I never did at 18. We could all probably do better at that. I think you did okay given the circumstances. Yeah, we could all be better. Cove meekly smiled as he rubbed at his eyes, weariness creeping over him, and mumbled his next words. We can talk about it another day. Conflict resolution methods?
Huh?
Oh no. Forget it. Your eyebrows rose, and then a light bulb went off in your head. Before Miranda called, didn't you say there was something you wanted to say? Cove's original visit had been thrown so off-kilter that it was a struggle to wind your memory back to when he'd first turned up. Now you did, though. You remembered that he had been perky when he arrived this afternoon. Was it good news? Cove brushed his hands against his now folded arms shyly. Well, yeah, maybe. I'm not exactly sure it counts as news or even good. It just is what it is. I'm happy about it, though. You were curious, but you didn't want to push Cove if you didn't want to speak about it. You don't have to say anything, but if it makes you feel good, then I think it's good news. Cove chuckled awkwardly, a hand creeping up to ruffle the hair on the back of his head. It's fine. If you want to hear, I can tell you. This fucking Canadian standoff. You don't have to if you're not ready. No, if you want to know, I'll tell you. Okay, great, but not if you're not ready. Like, you can do it. He shifted on his feet as if a different posture might give him the support he needed for the conversation. I didn't want to make it a big deal, but I kind of, well, not just kind of, I know what my sexuality is now. Let's go, Cove? Let's go? Cove coming out moment? Oh. A real subject change, huh? He chuckled. True, it was unexpected, but you were excited to share that Cove had come to understand himself more, and glad he wanted to share that with you. That's great. Tell me more? Cove drew a breath, straightening up. I'm Demi. I'm demisexual. Yo! We've got a canon Demi character in the fucking house. Let's go. So, you know, most of the time, I don't really have those kinds of feelings. Physical wants and stuff. Demi rep, let's fucking go. Like, not even just like vaguely hinted at, directly stated. Hell yeah. It's only in some situations, when I'm already really emotionally and romantically connected to someone, that I start to even ever think about anything sexual, and it's only with them. Literally never seen it before. Yeah, this is fucking wild. This is excellent. This is so nice to see. I hadn't heard the term until pretty recently, and it just made a lot of sense once I knew what it meant. I had a word that fit how I felt.
Yeah.
And I'm pan-romantic, because I've never had a preference for a specific gender or anything, so yeah. Let's go! We got ourselves a pan, baby! We got ourselves a pan, baby! Let's fucking go! Hang on. Give me 2 seconds, everybody. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. We got ourselves a pan, baby! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go! Welcome back, Sombra. I feel like I need to catch you up. Sombra. In case you missed it, Cove just officially came out to us. Tony and I have returned. Jolro. So, we just had a conversation. Cove just officially came out to us about his sexuality and his identity. Canonically, he is canonically demisexual, and he is canonically pan-romantic. And not even like vaguely hinted at, using the exact words. It's fucking awesome. Save the game, damn it. Okay, Bay, you're right. Save the game. Saved. And like, that is huge. That is huge. Because like, that is, I don't think, I can't think of a situation of a canonically demi character, like, saying the words. And it is nice to have some pan representation as well. I love that it distinguishes between sexuality and romanticity. Yes, exactly. That's really important too. It's fantastic. We got ourselves a demi-pan, folks. We fucking love to see it. Also, welcome back, Sombra. Can you explain what demi means? Actually, you know what, Bay? I'm just gonna backtrack and let Cove explain it, because Cove explains it so much better. We're gonna back up. So Cove will do it. Cove says, I'm demisexual, so, you know, most of the time I don't really have those kinds of feelings, physical wants and stuff. It's only in some situations, when I'm already really emotionally and romantically connected to someone, that I start to ever think about anything sexual, and it's only with them. I hadn't heard the term until pretty recently, and it just made a lot of sense once I knew what it meant. I had a word that fit how I felt.
Yeah.
And then we get the talking about pan-romantic. So demisexuality is on the asexual spectrum. And basically the idea is that you only really have sexual interest in people you've already established a firm emotional connection to. And it's amazing. I know so many incredible demi people. I think all of my partners, I feel like all of my partners are on the demi and ace spectrum, if I remember correctly. Yes. Oh shit, do we have demi rep in this game? Pella, yeah, we do. Canonical demi rep. Our Cove, our boyfriend is demi. Our boyfriend is demi canonically. I feel like that half describes me. Hell yeah, Jolro. Honestly, if you feel like that describes you, you might want to look into some of the definitions that are in the demisexual and asexual spectrum. You might find something that that clicks with you, Joel. Lots of love to all the A-spectrum peeps. Fuck yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think this is the first time we have a canonical demi character in any game I've ever heard of. And it's nice to have somebody canonically pan-romantic too. Like, that's fucking great. This is just really good. It's a really nice moment, and I love this. Back to lurking, but now I am more knowledgeable. Hell yeah, Babern, glad you know a thing. Yeah, art is also demi. Representation in this game is goals. It's fucking incredible. That makes sense. It's so good. And it's not forced. Like, it's just, it makes sense in the context of the game, and it's done so well. As a bi demi, this makes me super happy because people think ace cancels out the orientation. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And they specifically establish that sexual attraction does not mean romantic attraction. It's great. This does a lot of work in just a very few short sentences in a really simple, easy to digest way, and I love that. Ah, that was so good. That is so wonderful. Cove looked down at the floor. Do you see why I put this game on the list? I've seen why you put this game on the list for weeks now, Mara. You don't have to, you very much no longer have to defend your choice. Cove looked down at the floor, being so open and direct about a matter that personal, which you were sure he'd spent a long time trying to figure out, seemed to be kind of weird for him. Despite that, there was a small, proud smile on his face, and when he looked up again, his gaze was steadfast. felt proud of your boyfriend, so does that mean you're thinking sexual things about me? Oh, okay, relax. That's really nice to know. Have I ever pushed you or made you feel uncomfortable? I feel like that is an important question, and also the first thing that Lefteris would, fucking Cygnus would ask is basically like, this is great to know. I haven't ever hurt you, have I? Cove shook his head easily. No, I overthink things and get embarrassed about stuff, but you know how I am. When I actually don't want to do something, it's pretty hard to make me. That was definitely true of Cove. He had proven many times over the years that he was not afraid to dig in his heels.
Well...
I like what we do together, and, so, you know, I'd be glad if that didn't stop. Oh my god, Cove, you fucking dork. I love you. There Cove went, getting bashful about things again. But you felt good, and you could feel that way because he was feeling good too. Okay, thanks for answering. Cove, you adorable, precious boy. All this talk of Cove's sexuality made you reflect about your own. Your feelings on yours hadn't wavered. Your view had evolved since you were younger. I'm going to say that, but it might actually not be true just because I forget exactly what I said. Because I have the memory of a goldfish, and it was months ago now. And it acknowledges fluid sexuality. Yes. Yes. In a general way, yes. Had romantic attraction in a general way, yes. It felt towards men. Yes. He felt towards women. Yes, because we are poly. And how you felt towards NBs. I love that word. I love that that word is in here. Yes. You had already told Cove your own sexuality in the past. It's true. The perfect visual novel. Yes, this game contains the word NBs. It does. It does. You'd always been supportive about the topic, listening actively and supporting you in whatever conclusions you reached. Yeah, no, Cygnus is the type of person who had this shit figured out pretty better. How does it get even better? It's so good. It was heartwarming that he had reached a point where he felt similarly capable of discussing his own. You could tell that Cove had felt like it had been an emotionally draining day now that it had come to a close, everything wrapped up neatly with a bow on top. I was so excited about the stream tonight, and I did not want to miss a moment of gameplay, because I knew this would be the vignette that came first. Yeah, absolutely. I've never actually heard NBs before. It means non-binary people. Yes, because NB. That's the play. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, Tom, it's fantastic. It is a really elegant solution for a quick shorthand for non-binary folk. You had some good talks with your friends and with each other. That's what I figured, but I wanted to check. I appreciate you checking. Things like that, no stupid questions. I am a very big believer that as long as you are asking the question genuinely, you're not being a troll fuck, which of course you're not, Sombra, you're an absolute sweetheart. You're asking a genuine question and you genuinely want to understand something better. I don't think there's such thing as a stupid question. And I don't think people should be afraid to ask questions. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to have the energy to answer the question right now, but I think being afraid to ask questions is a very dangerous path to be on. And hopefully you can ask questions and have somebody able to help you learn. If I hadn't been able to ask questions and be educated by amazing people throughout my life, I would not be who I am. Knowledge is power against ignorance. Exactly. Absolutely. Hard agree. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. Maybe I need a fucking soapbox emote. Maybe I need to get an emote of, like, me standing behind a podium ranting. People can just spam it when I go off. Yeah, I'd be down. Maybe. Who knows? We are running out of emote slots, but we've still got some left. Or a salt shaker on top of a box that says soap. Yeah, that'd be a little hard to convey, though. But, I mean, all else fails, we always have the Death in Praxis emote now. We do have the Death in Praxis emote now. It is real. It is canon. I made that one myself. A lot had been brought out into the light, and you'd come out of it not only knowing each other better, but yourself too. But there was still something that Cove didn't know, something that had gnawed at you many times over the years. You'd never told Cove about how you'd first met his dad. Oh no. You always held it back from him, unsure how he would take the revelation. His dad seemed to have done the same, as Cove didn't seem to have heard of it from Mr. Holden either. Is this a to the grave thing? Or has 10 years been enough time? We don't talk about it, Coos! Cove has just come out to you. You cannot punch him with this information. One sec. Poll is up. Way back when we were 8 years old, Cove's dad offered us $20 to talk to his son, and we took the money. But we have never told Cove that we were paid to hang out with him the first time. We've never told him. I think we also still have that $20 bill. I don't think we've ever spent it. Canonically, unless something states otherwise, canonically we have never spent that $20 bill. Oh, it's tied. Ooh. Ooh. We don't talk about accused. If we're curious, there's always saves coming. That is true. Mess with the multiverse? No, that's a coward's way out. See, that's what I'm thinking, Mara. That's what I'm thinking. Why would you tell him? Because we're getting all the things out. We're being honest. Ooh. That is such a tight vote. Whatever choice we make here, we must live with it. Is nobody else gonna vote? Are we actually gonna stay on a tie? Oh. people tried to vote snipe right at the end in opposite directions. Wow! 2 people tried to vote snipe at the same time. Amazing. Shout out to the vote snipers. Holy fuck. Dreamer's choice. All right, I don't get to pass the buck on this. I don't get to pass the buck on this. I tried to pass this decision off. Vote snipers. Oh my god. Roll a d20? Nah. No, that was the universe telling me I need to make this decision myself. That was the universe telling me that this is my decision to make. I'm impressed at that. What would Left Terrace do? The truth of the matter here is that if here's the truth. Here's the truth. If Left Terrace was going to tell Cove, it's going to be in a very stupid, dramatic fashion, like during wedding vows. So we can laugh about it on the wedding day. Not today. Maybe later then. The day had been sufficiently dramatic without introducing the oldest skeleton in your closet. It could wait for another time. I mean, TBH, Cove's dad would probably bring it up himself at the wedding. Yeah, I believe it. Why does it feel like telling him on the wedding day makes it worse, LMAO? No, because then you can do it in a speech where you're like, this happened, and as silly as it is... So here's the thing. If I could completely control how this would happen, how it would happen is I would, like, Cygnus would say it during the speech. And the reason why he would say it during the speech is because he would still have the $20 in his pocket. And he would give the $20 back to Cliff Holden at the wedding. Being like, I never needed it after all. Never spent it and I never needed it. Like, if I could just write that, if I just, like, fanfic wrote the ending. If the upcoming wedding DLC gives you the option to reveal it, it will be amazing. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hey.
Hey, we should probably head downstairs soon. If your moms are still wanting to get everyone to get together? Yeah, that's right. With a renewed spring in your step, you led the way out of your room. You got downstairs to find the others already assembled and waiting.
Hi.
Hello. Ladies! Somebody check on Alice. Somebody check on Alice. Polyamorous moms? No. No, Art? No. No, the woman in the middle is our older sister. Yeah. Yeah, that's their daughter. That is Ma, Mom, and Liz, our older sister. Yeah. 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 Dead on arrival. Yeah, yeah, welcome back, Alice. Hello. Hey. Good to see you both.
Hey!
There he is! Mr. Holden! Dilf Holden himself! Sup, Dad? Hello, Daddy! Yeah, there we go. Get it, yeah. Get it out, folks. Daddy, Cliff Dilf Holden. Clifford Dilf Holden. Hi. Here we were, trying to corral everyone into a group, but the two of you were already upstairs this whole time. Daddy, sorry. Daddy, sorry. Daddy, yeah. It's a fucking mood. It's a fucking mood. Hey, Dad, we had some stuff to talk about. With that step 3 titties outfit, yeah. Oh, far out. This guy's Cliff? Yeah, this is our boyfriend's dad. This specimen is his dad. Oh, God. This fucking game. We do this every week. Every week we see the same characters, and every week we just all have a fucking mental breakdown. Okay, I'll have a slice of that one too, please. Fucking right, Tom? Right? The reason I could never stream this is it would just be gay squeaks. I mean, it's true. Yeah. But we made it, so what's the plan? How about cards? Alright, we're pretty good at cards. There was a murmur of interest from the others. You were keen to play. Hell yeah, I hustled y'all 5 years ago. I'll hustle you again. Let's go. It was very nearly, but not quite, unanimous. Mr. Holden demurred.
Nah.
I think I'll sit this one out. Where's the fun in that? Join in. Yeah, yes, and I know there's lots of people, but we can make it work. Mr. Holden shrunk into himself, embarrassed by their attention. Dad, you love playing cards. We do it at our house all the time. Another cutie. Right, AMC? Right, AMC? Like, oof. Dad. Papa. Daddy. We do it at our house all the time. Cove calling Dad out, too. You were right. I told you. Dilf Holden. Cliff Holden is chef's kiss. So good. Remember the time I played over there? Those were serious games. We made bets with real money and everything. Uh-oh, called out. Dad? Mr. Holden broke under the combined force of everyone's attention. Cove and Cygnus, you're adults now. You deserve to know the truth. Milves and Dilves galore. I used to throw the card games so you could win. Ooh, spicy! Can't wait for step 4. We are done. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I put up a good fight, but I always made sure to lose a lot more rounds than I won. He toyed with the end of his ponytail, clearly distressed at revealing this bit of info. He did have a history of bad surprises, so that may have been why. Oh, I thought it would be so much worse. Yeah, I was hoping, I was expecting to be like, I have a gambling addiction. That is a challenge, Clip. Yeah, now we'll just kick your ass for real. I know people want to be taken seriously and fake wins don't mean as much, but I couldn't help myself. It's so much better when everyone else got the chance to be victorious. Kyra knew and went along with it. Cove laughed in disbelief that this was the thing his dad stressed about hiding after the other stunts he's pulled over the years. So what? Lots of parents do that. I hadn't guessed it, sure, though looking back it makes sense. That's right, what's the big deal, Cliff? You can finally take the kid gloves off and give them a run for their money. Mr. Holden smiled coyly, his gaze lowering. I'm not sure that's a good idea. I swear to God, this man made his money in Vegas. Is this canonically confirming this man made his fucking money in Vegas? Are we finally learning this? It really feels like we're learning this.
Why?
And why not? He waved his hands expansively, his movements fluid and vague. It's just, I'm something of a card shark. I used to make a lot of fast cash off games. Casual players don't have a shot unless it's a game of pure luck. Yes, let's go! I've been calling that shit since day one. I said that since almost the beginning. I called that shit from the fucking beginning. I'm like, this man made his money on gambling or some shit. I said that shit. I said that shit from nearly the beginning. I fucking read it. I soul read him. I could see it. I'm like, there's no way somebody this laissez-faire and this fucking freewheeling with money, because he's just like, yeah, here you go. I'm like, where is this coming from? Unless you know you can get it, and you know you can get lots. Like, it was just the way he was acting, and the way he was so laissez-faire about money, and, like, he has a business, but, like, he has a business, and he's a good businessman, but, like, that's, you don't make that kind of money running a fucking surf shop. You just fucking don't. You just don't. You saw the fucking Cyclops. No, I just caught it. The personality just screamed it from day one. And honestly, the final big giveaway was that they bet with real money at home. Sure, they gave all the money back. Nobody actually lost money. But, like, he had to have real money on the fucking table to play. Like, that was the biggest tell of them all. I knew it before then, but that was the biggest tell. Cove's jaw hung open, his wide eyes fixed on his father. Really? There was a touch of amazement, even admiration, nestled among the shock. The other members of the Downey family exchanged looks, ranging from Liz's disbelief to Mom's intrigue, with Ma somewhere in the middle between the two. You can't simply make a claim like that and expect us to go along with it. Let's see if you can back it up, Shark Man. And of course he's a card shark. Everything, his entire life is ocean themed. Why wouldn't he also be a card shark? Like, that's just, it's so fucking obvious. Mr. Holden gave her a crooked smile, his demureness quickly being replaced with the confidence of someone very skilled or very misguided. I feel like I just missed something big. Sombra, I called it. Mr. Holden just confirmed he's a fucking card shark. Like, he's made a lot of money gambling. And I called that shit back in step 1. I called that shit back in step 1. And Cove and Mr. Holden just admitted that he's a fucking card shark. And I knew it. I fucking knew it. I feel so good about that. I feel so good about that. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, wow. Also, that is a very well set up detail, because if you follow his patterns and behaviors, it all makes sense. So it's something that was very clearly written into his character from day one. So again, great character writing from this game, once again. You sure about that? Look at this fucking, look at this face. Look at this King of Games, Yu-Gi-Moto ass looking smirk. Salt equal Allison DeBlanc confirmed. Oh no. Oh no. Cliff Holden, how many casinos are you banned from? Why do you think he moved? I genuinely think that the tension between, to take this further, because I also said this too, I genuinely think that the tension between Kyra and Cliff Holden was that Kyra was worried about his gambling. Kyra was worried day in and day out that he was going to fuck it up. And so she needed their finances separate, which is why after some time, she's good to come and stay for an entire fucking summer, because the issues weren't like, I think you're a horrible person, or like, we treat each other badly. It was, you're a financial risk that I can't take, and it's better for our son for us to be separate. Like, I've been saying that since the beginning as well. Not in as many details, but that's what I've been thinking. Like, that's why they're split. I know which episode you need to do next. It's the only one that makes sense. Okay, Mara, great. Perfect. Definitely. We gotta see this so-called non-casual player in action. Well, I might be able, though who knows? Maybe I've gotten rusty. His coin has continued to rile out the gang, and he was getting a kick out of it now.
Please?
Come on, please.
Alright.
Alright, I can dust off the old tricks. Great. Cove beamed at his father while Mom clapped Mr. Holden on the back. Liz darted off to get a deck of cards while the rest of you settled in for the game. Hands were dealt, and Mr. Holden wasted no time proving his words true, wiping the floor with all of you. Played several rounds, even switching games, but none of you were a match for him. That was how the alliance came to be forged. The rest of you joined forces against Mr. Holden only, just to try to increase the odds of beating him. With your combined efforts, you still pulled out a few victories, yet it was still a challenge. He was clearly a professional. If these were his skills now, rusty with disuse, you couldn't even imagine what a deadly opponent he had been in the past. Despite that, you still had fun. Working cooperatively actually fostered a sense of camaraderie with the others, and Mr. Holden didn't appear fazed by this strategy. You actually wondered whether the increased challenge made it more interesting for him. You spent the rest of the afternoon together with your family and the Holdens having fun. It was an interesting evening for sure, with many discoveries for everyone. It was freeing, and yet simultaneously you felt more tied together than you had been before. Let's go. Let's go. What a great fucking chapter. Just all around great chapter. Like, not only did we find out the fucking truth about, like, we had, like, good conflict resolution, we had really good coming out story, and then we got a big secret, we got, like, divorce conversations. Wow, that was great. And then from then on, Left Terrace decided to learn to count cards. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm actually going to use this opportunity to go get some more water. So I'm going to go take a quick 5-minute break, get some water. And when I come back, we are going to go into the next chapter, which I'm assuming Mara will suggest a chapter for me after this. So yeah, we will be back in about 5 minutes. And we're going to do reflection. Nice. Boom. Reflection. Let's do it. Reflection time, baby. Oh, we're at Cove's place. Think demisexual describes that reasonably accurate? Hell yeah, Joel Rowe. It's definitely worth, like, if you've been reading into it, then absolutely. Extra definitions and self-learning is always a good thing. Let's get into it. After finishing breakfast at the Holden's house, you and Cove had retreated to his room to relax before starting the day in earnest. Or perhaps you'd take it easy for the whole afternoon. Neither of you had plans exactly, so you were free to do whatever came to mind. I was only questioning it because I would say the way Cove described it didn't fully describe me, but when I read more, it's a bit more wide-ranging definition. Yeah, absolutely. So the thing about, I mean, sexuality in general is an amorphous blob, right? And I think the most important thing when it comes to a sexual identity is the identity part, insofar as if the shoe fits and you feel comfortable wearing it, then wear it, right? Because not only do you have demisexual and asexual, but you have gray ace, and you have, like, ace repulsed, and, you know, obviously, like, the more common, at least as far as, like, media is concerned and what we're raised with, is, like, allosexuality, which is your generic sexuality and so on. And so it's a whole fucking spectrum, right? And those are just kind of like stopping points along the way. You can definitely find yourself kind of wiggling in between them too, you know? But if something like that helps you better explain how you feel inside, that's the important part. If it doesn't, then you throw it away. Neither of you had plans exactly, so you were free to do whatever came to mind. You were leaning against Cove on his bed, you fiddled with a Rubik's Cube Cove had around, you stood watching Cove's fish swim idly around their tank, sat next to Cove on his bed, toying with his hair, and you sat on the ground, doodling pictures in the sand scattered across the floor. Yeah, we're just gonna lean on him. You snuggled close to his side, comforted by his warmth. It was so nice there that you had to fend off the urge to doze off. Cove lounged in a similarly eased manner, had his phone open, and was idly scrolling through something on it as you enjoyed one another's presence nearby. A burst of laughter broke the silence, hooking your attention and bringing you back to the present. You looked at Cove for an explanation. I couldn't do Cove's room. I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere. Valid? Hell yeah, Jolro. Hell yeah. Sand! His eyes, now crinkled with mirth, were still locked on his screen. What's so funny? Back again. This time I was cleaning up a mystery pee puddle. Oh, geez. Uh-oh. Holy fuck, you have a whole minute of stream delay? Ooh, I had some crazy dropped frames at some point from the looks of it. I'm just looking down. You might need to hit refresh. That might be my fault. My bad. Yeah, I'm looking down now. I think while I was gone, I had some hella dropped frames. Unless I completely lagged out for a minute while I was streaming and nobody noticed. We said the player made it better a bit? Yeah, no, I had a big frame drop at some point. I'm looking down now. I just thought my Twitch was being Twitch. No, it looks like it was actually me. I had like 3,000 dropped frames earlier. Holy shit. The fuck happened there? Weird. I have no idea why that happened. Sorry, everybody. He finally looked up at you, smirking. I think that was me. Sorry, I opened up Steam and it started auto-updating everything. Oh, no! Okay, so it might have been our internet suddenly chugged. Dad scanned some old photos. You know, he drew a rectangle in the air with the phone free hand. Printed out ones, back from when I was little. He texted it all to me last night, I guess. I've been checking them out. You're looking at kitty photos and didn't tell me? Can I see? That's cool. You smiled. That sounded nice. You sat up, wide-eyed and hopeful. You wanted to see. Wanna see? It's okay. I just wanted to look at it first to make sure there was nothing super embarrassing. You never know with my dad. That is also fucking true. He grimaced, envisaging what horrors his dad might unwittingly spring on him.
I mean,
what if there's a photo of me getting potty trained or something? Yeah, that's true. You laughed at Cove's fraud expression. You suppressed an empathetic shudder and nodded. Kid pictures are supposed to be embarrassing. That's part of the fun. That's true. He was holding out on you, but your protest was of no use. Is stream dropping right now, or is this my internet? Oh, shit. Anybody else having additional stream delay? I'm not getting anything on from OBS, but that doesn't mean anything. Oof. Cove only cleared his throat nervously, the fear of his dad's well-meaning action still looming large in his mind. It's me then, it's been happening all day. Sombra, I'm so sorry. Anyway, before we forget, I was laughing because I came across a Halloween one from when I was 8. The year I was a zombie, remember? He shook his head, grinning wryly while holding the phone out to you. Oh, we get to see, like, pictures of us when we weren't in summer. Oh my god. That's adorable. I never even liked zombies. All I wanted was to show off my new scar, and it needed to be something scary. I couldn't be a normal person who had a scar, according to my 8-year-old mind. I was a little dork. You're still a dork, Cove.
right?
Cove Dad really wanted to be useful, as usual. He came up with the idea of being an undead person. It was pretty good, huh? And I was so jealous of that look. It was good, but my costume that year was better. Liz was so grossed out, and Shiloh was terrified. Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember you getting lots of extra candy when adults realized the scar was real. It was hard seeing your arm like that. I don't really remember. Liz was so grossed out, and Shiloh was terrified. Sounds like the right memory. You took late night snack to a whole new level. Wonton soup? Oh my god! I want some wonton soup now. I'm jealous, Chessie. My speed keeps tanking to 2 MBS, and my partner had a notification their contract is ending as March, and the ISP will be hiking our cost up? Wait, they can fucking do that to you? That's fucked, Sombra. I'm so sorry. Is there another company you can move to? Because I would tell that company to fucking kick rocks. Yours can't? No. Like, prices can go up, but they're usually controlled. We're gonna look? Yeah, please do. That's wild. Well, I mean, we have the downside of Canada not really having any good internet providers, and essentially, they want an extra $5 a month for this service. Fuck. £5 a month. Yeah, Canada's prices are also some of the highest to begin with. That's the thing. There's no competition for internet in Canada. Basically, you have 2 main options, Bell Mobility and Rogers. And in some other places, it's going from 27 to 33. Okay, what is that in Canadian? You have Tech Savvy, true, but Tech Savvy's only so good. There's no hiking when they're on the ceiling. £33. What is £33 in Canadian? Because that's still cheaper than my internet, I feel. I feel like that's still cheaper than my internet. Times 2, 66. Yeah, I don't mind telling y'all this. About $56. Wow. I would kill for that, Sombra. At our house, we are paying double that. We're paying double that for decent internet. There's better options, too. But yeah, our internet per month is double that Canadian. Actually, almost exactly double. I'm with Tech Savvy, which is the cheaper one, and it's 80 now. Yeah, so we used to be with Tech Savvy, but with 2 streamers in the house. Tech Savvy couldn't keep up, so we had to switch to Bell, because Bell has faster rates. I don't know if 33 includes the line rental, though. How much is the line rental? I mean, we also have to pay a line rental as well. We pay $250 a month for internet, phone, cell phone, and cable. Yeah, you've got the whole package. My cell phone is separate from that. It's about 18 to 20 on its own. Okay, so line rental on top of that is getting closer to what we're paying. Jeez. And you pay 100 USD? Jesus, Alice, that's brutal too. I think the only place worse than Canada is Australia. I've heard Australia has really expensive internet. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're running now. We've got 2 companies that cover us. One is AT&T, so fuck no. Oh, God. Is the other one Comcast? Because Comcast fucking sucks. I don't even live in the States, and I know Comcast fucking sucks. Oh, fuck Comcast. When I first moved out in 2010, my internet was £20 with line rental. Comcast's ship at AT&T is somehow worse. Holy fuck. Yeah, when I first moved out, my internet was about $60 a month. It's doubled since then, around 2010 as well. Also, Salty, you live in the city. You ain't in the middle of nowhere. Why is it so high? We are paying for fiber optic because Bell provides fiber optic. We've got the cheapest fiber optic plan. And also, yeah, telecom monopolies. They still crank the rates up in the city. We pay for about 500 megabytes per second to get about 200. I don't even get that. My max is 150, Alice. Yeah, my max is 150. If I wanted to get 500 megabytes a second, I would be paying another like $40 a month. You're getting a crazy amount of repeating on stream and stuttering. Oh, Sombra, I'm so sorry. And it's split between each person in the house too. Fucking hell. That's brutal. So yeah, I mean, it's not so bad. It all depends on how heavy our usage is. Do you have unlimited though? I think technically we do. I think when we hit a certain threshold, it throttles us, but it's really hard to hit that threshold. Internet as a public tax-funded service when? It should be. It absolutely should be. Internet at this point is a necessity. You don't get over 4 megabytes a second download? Yo, might need to upgrade it. Yeah, I miss my symmetrical fiber stuck on DSL at my place. Rough, what a downgrade. That's rough. I mean, I grew up on fucking dial-up, so like, every once in a while, I still have a moment of, wow, this is fast. Because I remember when it used to take me all night to download one song. So like, hey. Back when my max download speed was a solid, like, 5 kilobytes a second. With COVID, your parents upgraded to unlimited? Holy shit. We opened up a browser and it just loaded. What a fucking concept, right? What a concept. This is...
Raid.
L'Oreal the Lich! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. How are you? Hey, yo. Let's go. Can I get a shout out? Hell yeah. How y'all doing? How was Axiom Verge? I'd make down. Oof. LMP, what a rough time. Welcome in. Good to see you. How was Axiom? We're doing a visual novel. We're chilling. We're vibing. Hope you're doing well. Also, enjoy your new emotes. I think you got gifted a sub earlier. Axiom Verge is great. I really want to play it. I really do want to play it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. The vibes are strong. Yeah, let's get back into it. Right now, we're laughing at kid photos. Axiom Verge was good. I was playing Noida for a bit. I was getting my ass kicked. So I did a rando seed to end the night. Hell yeah. Red is my favorite Metroidvania for sure at this point, but I liked Axiom Verge. Hell yeah. I mean, yeah, it's true. Jolro, you're a big Metroidvania person. You should really, there's a few people now. Thoriel the Lich and, like, Backseat Gaming Crew, both are amazing people who play the fuck out of Axiom Verge. I posted the speedrun also in my Discord that happened at GDQ, which was fucking incredible. How did the rando go? Thoriel? Hey. What? Hang on. Is that a Pookie B in my chat? Holy shit, it is. How the fuck are you, Pookie? It do be. How does it do be? Pookie, it do be good. So fucking good to see you. We're vibing, you know. We just had the record, one of the biggest fucking snowfalls in Canada, or at least in Toronto, that we've had in like a decade. So you know, while you are having no snow, we had 50 centimeters worth. It was up to my waist. I don't really know you, but this sounds big. So Pookie is an OG. I've known Pookie for basically as long as I've been on Twitch. When I met people like Bosch and Riggy2K3, I also met Pookie. Pookie is a streamer. Been on kind of an indefinite hiatus for the last little bit. Still worth following, because if you do get to catch a Pookie stream, it is always a great fucking time. He's an amazing human being, an awesome DM too. If you're a D&D person, Pookie is also somebody to talk to about D&D. For reference, Pookie can power watch a men's restroom like the best. It's true. It's true. And also, I think one of the best Pookie content things is just watching him play a long drive and breaking physics as we know it. The rando went decent. Ran a masochist seed. It was pretty nice. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I heard you guys got pounded by a hell of a storm. Yeah, 50 centimeters, which is like a foot and a half of snow in one day. My car had snow up above the tires. I literally couldn't move my car. Our Rat King and Loki a gambler, Pookie. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. It was fucking crazy. 2 out of the 3 major highways around Toronto were shut down because they literally couldn't get the fucking trucks to go. We got our mess of snow last month. Oh, fuck. All right. Yeah, that's brutal. We basically got all of winter's snow in one day. It was fucked. Yeah, 2.5 hours of shoveling. It took me, I think, an hour to get the car unburied. At least. It was rough. It was rough. And I was cheating too. I didn't even actually get the car fully unburied. I just kind of like Daytona USA'd my way out after that. I did post a couple of pictures in the Discord. I'm gonna see if I can actually find one real quick. Ah, yeah, here we go. Perfect. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work. Just gonna move this over here real quick. Yeah, so this happened. Here we go. That right there, that's my car. That was my car. And that was after the snow had stopped and shoveling had happened. That was 2 nights ago. That was 2 nights ago. I'm out here walking in basketball shorts and t-shirt. Hell yeah, Pookie. That's life. You live in life, Pookie. I'm so fucking jealous of you right now. Words cannot describe how jealous I am of you right now, Pookie. Oh, man. Alright. Let's continue this wholesome story. We've been staring at our zombie child boyfriend. Sorry, I should rephrase that better. Our boyfriend as a child dressed as a zombie. That is a much better way of saying that sentence. Jesus Christ! Order of words is important, y'all. What a flex. It's such a good flex. We've had it nice for the last week, although starting Christmas Day and for the 2 weeks after it was fucking cold. It's been cold as fuck here too. Sadly, I'm built for the cold, Chessie, so I'd actually prefer it weirdly. Wow, no. This, like, we've had, this last week, we have had minus 25 degrees Celsius weather. I can understand liking it cool, not cold. Cool, I can understand. It's not my vibe, but I get it. Cold? Fuck that. Nice. Alright, game time. Game time. Fucking frozen pipes. No thank you, Joro. You left, still clearly remembering their faces from when they saw Coves get up that night. Minus 25 to minus 35 here. Holy shit, Thoriel. That's brutal. Cove chuckled at your reply. I can't believe how much larger my scar used to be. Freezing here in Quebec? Yeah, I believe it. Canada weather is fun. Isn't it just? Thoriel. Oh, I think you mentioned this before. don't get into specifics, but are you also in Ontario, if I'm remembering correctly? Can't believe how much larger my scar used to be. He looked down at his arm with a soft smile on his face and traced what remained of the jagged line with his fingers, just as you'd seen him do countless times before. No, a good bit west of that. Oh, okay. That explains the minus 35, actually. That explains the minus 35. Okay. His voice was playful when he spoke again. We don't have earthquakes, we don't have hurricanes, we don't have alligators, and that's why we live where the air hurts our face. Back, let's see how long this lasts. Sombra, okay, ready? Sombra, I'm going to send you good internet. Not mine, because I don't have it, but I'm going to steal good internet from somewhere and I'm going to send it to you. Ah! There you go. I hope that helps. And we don't have giant spiders. It's true, we do not have giant spiders. I really want to go to Australia. I really do. Australia's beautiful, and I really want to go there. And I'm not even an arachnophobe. But if and when I see a huntsman spider, I'm going to fucking shit my pants. Oh my god, not this again! I'm sorry, Tom, I'm sorry! It's true, though. It's true, though. Tom is back for me to be like, Australian spiders are scary. Add quote, we've been staring at our zombie child boyfriends. Oh my god, Pint, goddammit. Oh no. Pookie, why did you look it up? Pookie, why did you look it up? I guarantee you won't see a spider if you come visit. Okay, Tom, thank you for that reassurance. However, LMP just redeemed a rant about huntsman spiders. Oh, Tom, I'm sorry. Also, Tender, hello. Hello, Tender, good to see you. Spiders are the reason I cannot go to Australia. So, okay. One sec, everybody. LMP has redeemed a rant. LMP has redeemed a rant. So, with the caveat that you probably won't see one unless you're out on a farm, because if you're in a city, you're probably good. I just need to talk about the fact that despite the fact that huntsman spiders are not aggressive, in fact, they're scared of everything because we're still bigger than them. I can watch hours of disturbing YouTube, but that spider makes me want to burn the world. It's a lot. It's a lot, that is for sure. I still think one of the most interesting and horrifying factoids is that the huntsman spider does have a human death toll, not because of spider bites, not because of venom, because it has no venom, but because they can get places they're not supposed to get, and there are stories of people driving their car, getting some sun in their eye, flipping down their sun visor, and a huntsman spider was just hanging out in it, and it lands, and then they panic and crash their fucking cars. Fuck those things. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. I hate it here. Yeah. Now, I do think it's important to clarify. that they are not that common. Tom is right. Tom is right. They're not that common. They're not that common. It is important to say that. I can't fathom how a spider you rarely see terrifies Canadians and Americans more than the entire gun thing. So, Tom, the gun thing doesn't really exist here. Our guns are regulated and locked away. And, like, have to be... We have gun control. We have gun control. So, like... That's the thing. I can't fathom how a spider you rarely see terrifies Canadians and Americans more than the entire gun thing. Tom, what I'll counterpoint, though, is the amount of people who, when I tell them I live in Canada, they ask me, aren't you afraid of bears? And the answer is, yes, I am afraid of bears, but they don't come to where I live. Bears are only a problem if I go to Bearland. So I think it's the same thing. Like, if you go to the part of Australia where the spiders are, you're gonna have a bad time, so you just don't go there. My fear of spiders knows no logic. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. My point is, I don't care how rare or common they are. Something that big. But the spiders are gonna maul you to death. I kinda wish they would. Listen, if I see a bear in the woods, I make a loud noise at the bear, it will either go away, or it will kill me. At which point I'm dead, it's fine. Listen, everyone has a right to juggle 7 guns at once. This is my right as an American. No, the safeties aren't on. What do you think I am, a coward? I don't care if they don't maul me to death, because I will die of shock regardless. I am American, they are always loaded. We're all trained like Steve Irwin over here, so you'll be fine. That's true. So what you're saying is what we really need to be afraid of. Oh, so what you're saying is what we really need to be fucking afraid of isn't spiders, it's motherfucking stingrays. Just saying. Bears are also similarly not as aggressive as media has portrayed them. Bear training is all about being big and loud to get them to leave. It's true. For the most part, bears aren't scary. Even fucking grizzlies. Even grizzlies aren't that fucking scary. You know what bears are scary, though? Fucking polar bears. Polar bears are terrifying. Those motherfuckers will kill you. Look, okay, due to global warming, the Brazilian wandering spider has been pushing farther north. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, Mara, that's what I was saying. Except for polar bears. Polar bears will kill you. Just kidding, though. I actually love stingrays, but rest in peace, Steve Irwin. You fucking absolute legend. You absolute legend. LMP, was that a valid enough rant about... I know we kind of went on a different tangent there, but was that a valid enough rant about huntsman spiders? So, I think it's time to go unconscious. Joro's like, right, so I'm just gonna nope out of all of this. You have yourself a great night, Joro. It's just late. You are amazing, Joro, and I hope you have a good one. That was a solid rant. Pookie, thank you. I appreciate that. It's so good to see you. Welcome back. Late? It is late. Does that count as death in praxis? Because I feel like it kind of counts as death in praxis. Joro, have a good night. Sleep well. You are hyped for tomorrow's stream? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. It's gonna be amazing. Moral of the story, everyone is just accustomed to the local fauna and freak out about everything they're not familiar with. It's true. It's true. I'm hoping tomorrow that we finish off Outer Wilds. I feel like we're close enough to do it. 8. Yes. Joro, I'm so glad you got to press the 8 button too. That was a fantastic stream to watch. That was a fantastic stream to watch. Hey, no, I freak out about our local fauna too. Alice is like, no, I freak out about everything. I'm just nervous. I'm just gonna say, you're expecting this week will be my last Outer Wilds stream? Okay, I'm feeling that too. I think we are beating Outer Wilds tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. See, Tom, is that the real reason why you have a corgi? Do you have your adorable floofy butt just to eat bugs for you? And then the DLC? Oh, you gotta add the DLC to the list. If it's almost as long as the main game, you gotta add that shit to the list. I want to play other games ever. He literally ate a fly when you said that, so yes, let's fucking go. I love him. Oh, yeah. Joro, I'll refund yours. LMP got it in there first. Do it twice now. Oh my god. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Alright. Let's do that real quick. We'll do that real quick. We'll do that real quick. Let's pop over to the game list. Let's pop over to the game list. Alright. Let's see here. So we're gonna add... Insert a row. That there. 23. Oh my god! It begins. Echoes of the Eye. I'm gonna just say LMP and Joro on this, let's be real. And we're moving that up twice. Also, Bayburn bumped up Boyfriend Dungeon. I didn't do that yet, so we'll do that real quick. Oh my god! And move it up again! Okay. It is in position 20. I see how it is. Look, okay, Dream Daddy will be played near Valentine's Day. I will just say this now. I mean, I feel like if you interrupt Naissance, Azura will kill you. And Joro and LMP trying to speedrun that list. Oh my god. Oh no, I wouldn't interrupt that. So Outer Wilds is probably going to get done this week. Our Life Beginnings and Always, assuming we can actually get through some fucking chapters, will be done in the next couple of weeks. Good job, everybody. Holy shit. Okay. Last updated on the 19th. Gonna update that real quick. Mark that as complete. Move a game up. Yes. Done, done, and done. Perfect. There is still Outer Wilds. Jack's one is still Yag. Oh my god, y'all. Well, Naissance will be next. And Azura said it is one stream, so it should not be interrupted. Yeah, Naissance should only take 1, maybe 2 streams if something like what's happening tonight happens. Joro, have a great night. Let's finish this chapter. Let's get back to the game. I love you all so much. This has been fucking great. His voice was playful when he spoke again. Look at how tiny it is now. How am I going to pretend to be tough without a big scar? Hove, you've never fooled anyone. You were relieved that he accepted and even liked a scar. It's a definite blow to your street cred. It still looks cool. You better not do anything stupid to get a new scar. You sighed in a long-suffering way. I still think it looks cool. His scar legitimately looks cool. Also, I think I said it, but just in case, Joro, good night. Sleep well. You're the fucking best. Also, I think everyone ignored my salt fact. I missed it entirely. Holy shit, I'm gonna scroll up. Salt fact. The family jumping spiders belong to is called the Salticidae. Is that actually true? That's actually true? Oh no. Whoops. Does that mean my army has jumping spiders in it? Domesticated jumping spiders in my army? I feel like Pella is not a fan of this. They're domesticated. It's fine. Well, yeah, Saltidae would be the family of jumping and falling if my Latin is okay. Oh, I see. They've tainted the Salt name. No, they're trained. It's fine. They're listening. They're well behaved. And Sombra's just like, nope. I don't trust them. But you trust me, right? Just make sure they're peacock spiders, the only valid spiders. Are those the really tiny ones that like wear raindrops as hats? Salt, I trust you. There's a Sombra-shaped hole in the wall! I do not trust your spiders. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Pella would not let me keep spiders anyway, so that would never happen. The ones who wear raindrops as hats are actually kind of cute, and I do not like spiders. Ah, the ones that dance. Yes, the dancing spiders are fun. Shout out to Pella for that. Shout out to Pella for a lot of things. Alright. Cove smiled bashfully. Hey, they need love too. Absolutely they need love. They can be loved other places. That's fine. Also, good to see you, Urban. I know you've been hanging out and lurking, but it's good to see you. You might need to do the full name. There's actually a Pella. Cove smiled bashfully, still pleased with his joke, and ducked his head to look away from you. His fingers were still tracing the scarred patch of skin. Time to usurp that blasphemer. We will get them. I really do like having this, even if it is kind of little these days. His voice was shy, like he was letting you in on a big secret. I like yours too. You grinned. He never failed to think of you too. That's right, we do have scars because we're also reckless dumbass kid. Thanks, Cove. Cove turned back to face you fully, finally letting go of his scar. He was happy. That mark was a part of him and clearly held meaning for Cove. Can I touch it? He blinked, taken aback by the request, but nodded easily.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. You cupped his arm with your fingers carefully as your thumb ran down the outline of his scar. Along the rougher tissue of the scar, you also could feel goosebumps on his arm. Cove let out a choked breath, a dizzied smile playing out on his face. It was evident that he liked the feeling. They're so soft! We're just gonna hold his gaze. Cove couldn't stay still and reached for you with his free hand, his fingers brushing against your cheek. He leaned forward, eyes gleaming. You automatically began to match his movement, pulling nearer to him. His cheeks burned red as he closed the gap between you two, his mouth gently meeting yours. You held onto his arm like a lifeline as you kissed him back, briefly worried that you might drown in the depths of your feelings. It's so cute. Then you opened your eyes, meeting Cove's, and knew the feeling was mutual. He laid his forehead to rest against yours. You felt his hot breath tickling your face. Heads touching, your hand on his arm, you were entwined with Cove. It felt so right. Time couldn't register in that moment. It could have been seconds or minutes, but eventually you straightened up, lifting your hand from his scar. That seemed to break the spell. Though he stayed close to you, Cove sat up and came to his senses. Your eyes drifted back to the scar on his arm. The scar had been there as long as you'd known Cove, though when you first met, it had been concealed by that neon pink cast.
So?
Want to hear how I managed to go jet skiing when I was 8? Yeah, we do. I've been wanting to hear this story for a while. You were initially stunned that he'd guessed what you were thinking, though given the topic of conversation and the direction of your gaze, it was a natural conclusion to reach. Not bothered by your reaction, Cove continued with a shrug. I don't mind telling you, It's nothing special. He rubbed the back of his neck, grinning sheepishly. It's just really dumb. You nodded. That was something you'd like to hear more about, especially knowing that no lasting harm had come of it. Cove stared into the distance, lips parted as he readied the story in his mind. So me, my dad, and my mum were at a party. I don't know if it was a casual get-together or a specific celebration. I hope it wasn't for something meaningful, considering how I ended it. He winced and managed a bashful smile. Anyway, my mom and dad were off doing stuff, talking to people, I guess. I was left with the other non-adults. Most of them were older than I was. Maybe all of them were? His brow furrowed and he tried to recall dusty memories. Then he shrugged again and continued. The older kids were taking turns on the jet skis. There weren't enough for everyone to ride at once, so in between turns they were hanging out on the shore. I was meant to just sit there with them and watch. Remembering when you first met Cove, you bet he hadn't been satisfied with that arrangement. He confirmed that suspicion. I was pretty unhappy. It wasn't a party for me, not when all I could do was just look at other people have fun when I couldn't. The teens must have realized that, though I never hid when I was pouting as a kid. Only when you were a kid? Cove bristled with embarrassment. It looked pretty sulky to you. Come on, let me finish the story. Alright. Cove sighed, letting go of the interruption, and picking up where he left off.
Well,
basically, someone offered to let me ride. I was way too small to drive it myself, but this older kid, they must have been at least 16, said I could sit in front of them while they controlled the jet ski. I knew I wasn't supposed to do anything like that. Still, I figured my parents were doing whatever they wanted, so why couldn't I? I nodded at the person, and I remember the other teens helping me onto the jet ski, along with the one driving. We sped off into the water. Cove smiled widely and wistfully. It was amazing, at first. My hair was flying everywhere as we zoomed away from shore. I loved being out on the water like that. Too bad it turned out steering a jet ski with an 8-year-old sat on your lap was harder than a bunch of kids figured it would be. The teen tried their best, but they couldn't keep control for long. We got spun around and went right into the sand. We sucked in a deep breath. The other person wasn't hurt. Thankfully, they held onto the bars and stayed in their seat. I didn't. I was thrown at full speed into a rocky part of the shore near the dock. I must have tried to brace for impact or catch myself because my arm is what I mostly landed on. He's lucky all he did was break his fucking arm if he crashed into rocks. He looked down at the limb in question. You could see him visualizing the long-healed injury. It was pretty torn up. After that, it's hazy for me. I got taken to the hospital. I didn't feel a lot of pain when it first happened. All I remember was thinking about how I was covered in sand and the grains were uncomfortable. Huh. Cove also feels that the sand gets everywhere. The sand was uncomfortable? Cove chuckled. I know, right? I did start feeling my arm later. It definitely hurt eventually. Shock is one hell of a drug. That is fucking true. I do not remember the pain of breaking my bones, but I do know that it hurt, but I can't remember what that felt like. The doctor said my arm was broken, along with being torn open. That's how I ended up getting my pink cast. Ooh, brutal. Brutal. Yeah, that makes sense, but fuck. Shout out to me for having never broken a bone. I'm really glad about that, Alice. Smiled nostalgically. That color, it just seemed nice and happy at the time. Brightened the mood, so I picked it. His smile faded. He finished the story with a sigh, his eyes downcast. I feel bad I did any of that. I hope whoever that teen was, they aren't traumatized by seeing a little kid go flying into the ground. They were just trying to do a nice thing. Cove threw his arms out to the side dramatically. I wish I knew who they were so I could give them a call and say I'm still in one piece. But yeah, that's the full story. Really glad you were both okay in the long run. Yeah. Yeah, that is really sweet of Cove. I've never broken a bone, but I cracked my skull when I was a toddler. I think that counts. So, when I was like a year old, I broke my leg because My mom looked away from me for 5 seconds, and I tried to climb the stairs and fell down and broke my leg. So there's pictures of me as like a very small child with a cast. And then when I was 6, I broke my other leg in 2 places, and I was in a cast for 3 months. And then when I was 11, I fractured my wrist. I was swinging on a swing set, and I jumped off, and I tried to like swing on it like a vine, and I slipped, and instead I fell like a solid 12 feet in the air and just fucked up my wrist. I don't think I have, although maybe technically I had a hairline fracture in my pinky finger or something. Just splinted it to the next finger over and it was fine. Yeah, okay. My lack of broken bones probably comes with an asterisk, TBH. Yeah, exactly. All I remember was a metal bar and then orange juice. Apparently I had to be glued back together. Hell yeah, Sombra, let's go. Cove sighed again, the regret written plainly on his face. It was a failure, that's just the truth. He smiled flatly. But to my credit, I think I've grown a lot since then. Wait. Cove's eyes went completely wide. Suddenly reinvigorated, he seized his phone and tapped away at the screen. What's up? I knew it. You weren't sure that he'd heard you, but he set his phone down and turned to face directly to you. The orange juice was what was given to keep me calm. Hell yeah, orange juice calms me down too. His face was resolute. Though the glow of the screen was no longer reflected in his eyes, they seemed to sparkle even brighter than before. Cygnus, we're adults. We can decide things for ourselves now. You only realize that now? Okay, where is this going? This can't be going anywhere good. I like where this is headed. The age requirement to rent a jet ski in California is 18. We could totally do it. Let's go. Pint is like, what are you doing? Cove holding the fucking chat himself. Let's go. It is time. Yes! Cove beamed, pumping the air with both fists. Definitely the action of someone mature enough to rent a vehicle. Yep. Alright. Within a moment, Cove had recovered and returned to his serious expression from before. I'll be careful, and I really want you to be there when I try again. Please? His voice was soft and earnest. You could tell how much the request meant to him. You also knew him enough to know that he wasn't going to give up on this idea. Letting him go on his own wasn't an option. Of course I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it. I'm sure this won't go poorly. It'll be fine. I'd be interested in trying jet skiing. Cove pricked up at once, a grin stretched wide across his face. He was practically bouncing in place. Let's go! You got up and worked as a team to gather everything needed for the trip. Cove's other aquatic hobbies came in handy, and he was quickly kitted out with everything he'd need other than the jet skis themselves. You needed to run back home quickly, having dressed and prepared for a day that didn't involve jet skiing, but soon enough you're both ready and jumping into Cove's car. Car ad, now Cove is driving! The new Nissan Altima, the perfect car for any getaway jet ski adventure. Just bring your boyfriend along for the ride. Choose Nissan. As you got in, you learned that Cove had used the brief time apart to locate a rental store on his phone. Of course he did. You caught his eye as you clicked your seatbelts into place. Excited, you held out a hand. Cove slapped it in a high five before setting off. You and Cove soon arrived. The ocean was perfectly inviting today. The deep blue of the water glittered under the clear sky, while the tide rolled in and out at its leisure. I'm so excited for this! You were just as pumped as he was. Your excitement was adorable. You felt a little worried. Oh, we're just as pumped. Not like they have money as a barrier. No, not with fucking Not with business moms and fucking card hustler dad. Seeing how pleased you were, Cove grinned at you.
Hey,
Oh hey, want to say hi to my dad while we're here? I've already texted my mom about the plan. He's working right now. You remembered how close his shop was. It wouldn't take long even by walking. Sure, we can do that. Mr. Holden was a great guy, so you were happy to check in on him. Yep, we love Mr. Holden. Any time to see Dilf Holden, really.
sorry.
Thanks. Sorry, it might be kind of awkward when he hears why we're here, but that should be alright. I mean, my parents forgave me a long time ago for that amazing stunt. I don't want to be scared off jet skiing my whole life just because of it. Whoops, one too many. You wondered which of you Cove was attempting to reassure. It was only a short walk back down the dock to Mr. Holden's scuba shop. Cove breezed in, as familiar with the shore as he was, as with the store as he was with his own home. The place was quiet, empty aside from a couple of customers quietly browsing, and Cove's dad behind the counter. Mr. Holden looked up, his friendly expression spreading into a wide grin when he saw who had just entered.
Hey!
Hey, Cygnus. Hey, Sport. What brings you all the way down here? He cast an eye at the way the two of you were dressed. Judging by how you're decked out, I'm guessing scuba diving? There's plenty here for that. What can I help you with? Cove chuckled, amused by how quickly his dad seized on a favorite topic. Or maybe it was how his dad always fell over himself trying to be useful. Hi, Dad. We're not doing that this time. We sort of decided to go rent a couple of jet skis. The phrase jet skis had set Mr. Holden's mouth in a taut line immediately. Jet skis. He echoed the words as his eyes instinctively darted to the scar on Cove's arm. Sorta, kinda, yeah. That's when... Mr. Holden started to speak several times, each attempt quickly abandoned. Cliff Holden knows a dubious idea when he hears one. He's the king of dubious ideas, of course he does. Cove smiled encouragingly, trying not to add to his father's worries.
Don't worry about it.
I promise I'll be careful, and Cygnus will be there too. We always look out for each other. If Cove's dad is smart, he'll be like, Cygnus being here doesn't mean shit. Mr. Holden pinched his face back into an unconvincing smile.
Right.
Alright, you're a whole lot bigger now than you were back then. Heck, you can drive a car and everything. I'm sure you and Cygnus will have plenty of fun. The worry still echoed out in his voice, barely concealed by the positive words, but Cove was buoyed out by his father's support. 911, do you take reservations? Pint has no faith in this. Yeah, well, we're all set. We only stopped by to say hi and let you know since we were over here. Mr. Holden beamed, obviously moved by his son's simple consideration. Wow, you're so thoughtful. Thanks for taking the time. Dad, you don't need to thank me for that. Mr. Holden simply laughed at his son's response. It'd be great if you could keep me in the loop while you're out there, too. Just text me to know it's going well or anything. I will. His dad smiled more easily.
Great.
Great. Cove rubbed at his arm, causing Mr. Holden's eyes to momentarily twitch back to the childhood injury.
Bye.
We're gonna head out. See you later. Take care. See you, Mr. Holden. He waved you off as you left the store. The pair of you headed back to the docks, walking side by side. After your feet hit the boards, Cove's pace fell. Glancing over, you saw him looking down out over the water. That wouldn't have been unusual if his expression hadn't been so somber. He wasn't geared up with anticipation or even nervousness, but with an uncharacteristic lethargy. Something was weighing heavy on his mind. What's up? Huh? He blinked, startled by you interrupting his rumination.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. He sighed. Though you'd torn his attention from the ocean, it gradually drifted back to the water, cleared your throat, unwilling to lose him again. Sorry, again. He put his hands to his face, rubbing his eyes warily. Here I go, thinking everything's resolved with what's happened, and we can have fun, but I just can't enjoy anything. I had to find something else to get stuck in my head. You're having second thoughts about jet skiing?
No.
No, that's not it. The ends of his lips were drawn into the beginning of a frown, like gray clouds clustering to a signal, a coming storm. I figured my dad would be a little worried about me doing it, but what he was saying, it wasn't what I'd expected. He was so sad. It was more than nervous. I think he feels bad, and now I feel bad. But it isn't as if I'm the only one who ever does something stupid or gets hurt. It got me thinking about that whole time. That's when I realized it wasn't long after that accident that my parents separated. Oh, shit. And you noticed that before? Well, I kind of did, but not exactly in the way I'm seeing it now. As a kid, I didn't think about the consequences of my actions, you know? Or how what I did impacted other people. Like, why should anyone care? I'm the one doing it, not them. It made no sense, but I still cared when other people did things I didn't like. But I was 8 and mostly just mad that nothing felt like it was in my control. Oh boy. You could tell that he was building up to something, so you nodded for him to continue. It was pretty difficult to deal with because of that attitude. But looking back, I think that's what saved me from something a lot of kids go through. Blaming themselves for their parents' divorce. It never crossed my mind that anything I did made a difference on my mom or dad's relationship. They would do what they did no matter what. So, now though, I guess it's kind of hard to ignore that thought, huh?
I mean...
Their situation was already so hard, and I wasn't a good kid, so... He left his words adrift as he looked down, the conclusion unfinished. It was silent between you two. But only for a second. Both pulled himself up to his full height, his chin held aloft. Whatever he had decided, he was resolute. Back by unpopular demand. Me, Spitty. It's always popular demand. I fucking love you. How are you doing, buddy? How are things? Fucking love you, Spit. Did someone say Spitty? Yeah, they did, Pookie. We got some OGs in the building. We got a Pookie and we got a Spitty. Did someone say Pookie? Shout out Pock. Fuck. I hear that Pock is a pretty cool guy. Hell yeah. Big Pookie shoutouts. We love Pookie. Shout out Spit. Yes. Pock and Spit. Two of my favorite people. I'm going back. I've got to talk to my dad. I'm not going to let things be like before, where I just feel crappy and refuse to even tell him what's going on. That doesn't work for either of us. I have a number of money in my bank account I did not expect, and now I'm worried where it came from. Are you sure that's not just your fat stacks of cash from being a badass? And the monthly statement is not very descriptive. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did you get drunk and win a bunch of money in Vegas? Did you black out drunk and win big on fucking slot machines? That scammer Prince investment finally paid off. Aw, yeah. Fuck no, I got drunk and lost a bunch of money in Vegas. Spitty's a card shark? I believe it. I was so jealous of you seeing you do that shit in Vegas, Spit. That was amazing. You can go ahead if you want. I won't mind. I still really want to do this, and I'm sure it'll be okay. I want to stay with you. We always look out for each other, remember? Both smiled gently, having wanted that deep down. Thanks, let's go. Back to the shop we go. I have a very long, crazy fucking story that happened to me there, but it's a wall of text, so I'll tell you over VC one day. Hell yeah, Spit. Let's find time to have that chat. I miss talking with you. I miss our nights listening to fucking metalcore and just hanging out in VC, so we should have one of those nights soon, Spit. you and Cove retook your steps down the docks once more, heading back to Mr. Holden's scuba shop. The customers you'd spotted in there before were now leaving the store, new bags clutched in their hands. You hoped this would mean Cove would have his conversation without a public audience. The short simplified version is an older lady was hitting on me and proceeded to get hammered, and you watched her lose $38,000? Holy... Are we talking... Spit, basically, are you saying that you were getting hit on by a cougar who just lost $40K before your eyes while drinking? Because that is one hell of a story. Bae, you should have taken the 38K. That's not how it works in Vegas, Bae. That was a roller coaster of a sentence. That was a great sentence. Vegas, baby. This time, Cove strode into the shop with purpose. Mr. Holden, still at the counter, glanced up to greet whoever had come inside. He grinned as you approached.
How's it going?
Hello again. Forget something? Sort of. Cove had reached the counter now. You needed to rush just to keep up with him as he crossed the show floor. You started with 28,000, had 3 Jack and Cokes in 45 minutes, was betting $500 a hand at blackjack, got to 38K, then started betting 1,000 to 5,000 and lost it all. Holy shit. Wow. So fun fact, my laptop is currently reporting that I am not connected to the internet. She's typing this from her laptop. Oh, Sombra, that's because you've got the vaccine. That's why. Because you have the vaccine, now you've got that 6G pumping through your veins, so you don't need to connect your laptop to the internet. You just have the internet now. So by touching your laptop, you're online. Congratulations! Get vaccinated, y'all. Yeah, exactly. Presses X to doubt. Fun fact, actually it's not fun and terrifying. Oh god, Spit. I got 3 shots. Does that mean I'm up to 15G? 7.5. You get 5G after you get the second shot, Pookie. So you're at 7.5G. But still, it's impressive. Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow, taking in Cove's shift in attitude, and chose his next words with care. Is everything alright? Cove swallowed, not answering initially. Damn, this is quite a difficulty curve. Yeah, it's tough, Poogie. What if I get every single version of the vaccine? At that point, you just ascend. 5G signal towers rolled out today in the US. The 5G towers significantly interfere with large heavy-body aircraft instrument systems. Oh, fuck. What? Did they not consider that? That is not working. That link is not working. Cove swallowed, not answering initially. Talking openly with his dad was still somewhat new for the son. You knew that he was struggling for the right way to begin. Dude, I've had so much trouble with that link. Oh, man. I wanted to ask about what happened. Oh, boy. We're straight up asking. Mr. Holden winced as if the words had struck him physically. The accident? Okay, this link. Go. The FAA is working on measures to ensure that radio signals from newly activated wireless telecommunication systems can coexist safely with flight operations in the United States. Wow. Can I open this? Can I open this on stream, or is that going to be like, am I going to get in trouble? I think I can open this on stream. Safety is our mission, and it guides all of our decisions. In the United States, 5G services are planned for launch beginning January 19th as frequencies in a radio spectrum called the C-band. These frequencies can be close to to those used by radar altimeters, an important piece of safety equipment in aircraft. To make sure that this does not lead to hazardous interference, the FAA requires that radar altimeters are accurate and reliable. Because the proposed 5G deployment involves new combination of power levels, frequencies, proximity, light, flight operation, and other factors, we'll need to impose restrictions on flight operations using certain types of Wow! Only 62% of the US commercial fleet is cleared? %62% of the US commercial fleet aircraft models have safe installations. What the fuck? %62% of our usually 100,000 flights a day. So 62,000%. So 62,000 flights. That means 38,000 flights. 38,000 flights today, roughly, got canceled. Holy shit. What the fuck? Why didn't they think of this before? Oh, I know about the Tifa video. I know about the Tifa video that the Italian government showed live. Yeah. Scroll down to the graph. Europe has no problem with it. It has been thought of. Yeah, so it's just the States who didn't do this. Yeah, so France has solved all this issue. AT&T and Verizon declined to comment? Yeah, I bet. So basically, too long didn't read. Verizon Wireless and AT&T fucked up flights for forever. Until this gets fixed. Holy fuck. Wow. The amount of money that is going to cost the United States, 38,000 flights a day? The amount of business that fucks up. The amount of just everything that fucks up. Holy shit. Verizon and AT&T, but my capitalism. And your phone is faster now, so that's great. Wait, Canada has to be fine too. I can stream you better now, though, so I mean, that's good, Spit. That makes me happy. I mean, fuck the flights. If you can see me better, that's the important part. Canada just got 5G as well, and I didn't hear any issues, so I guess Canada sorted their shit out before we put 5G in. Streaming from the air. Are you in a flight right now, streaming me in a plane? For legal purposes, that is a joke, FAA. Woof. Wow, Spit, that's fucking wild. The accident? We got 5G in the UK also and not heard of any problems. Yeah, the instruments aren't getting in the way of the reception anymore. Perfect, we love that. Hell yeah, Sombra, I'm glad you're not having problems either. Hove just flat out was like, no, you're not weaseling out of this. I want to hear about the divorce, Dad. The pained expression fell from Mr. Holden's face. Wide-eyed, his jaw slack, he gaped at Cove. Just temporary disruptions here and there to services. I see.
Huh?
Why? Cove glanced over his shoulder at you. As your eyes met, you saw him draw confidence by having you by his side. He turned back to his father. You're welcome for your daily aviation fact. Back to Rainbow Six Extraction I go. Wee! Spit, I love you. Thank you for the facts. It's very important. You're lovely. I love you. You're a cutie. Go be a Rainbow Six officer, operator, whatever it is. I want to know the truth. Here we go. His tone was grave. Did me getting into the accident hurt your marriage? If I hadn't done it, would you and Mom have gotten along better? No! Hell no! Mr. Holden quashed the suggestions with a gravity you rarely heard in his voice. Yeah, Cliff got fucking serious right there. If this was a different type of game, Mr. Holden would have said fuck no there. That would not have been a hell no. That would have been a fuck no. You were 8 years old. You're not responsible in any way. Ira and I should have protected you. I can understand why you're feeling that. What happened was so horrible. How could it not have an impact? It did. Mr. Holden did not get any older. He just got hotter. Mr. Holden ages like the finest of fucking wines. It was a reflection of us as parents. The relationship between just your mom and me was separate and already unsalvageable. Cove turned away, his brow still furrowed as he looked at the floor. Maybe I'm being anxious and it's taking over, but it wasn't just then. I always caused problems. The portrait of Cliff Holden. Yeah, right? He plowed on, unwilling to give up without explaining his worries. What if I'd been easier to raise? Or if you had me later on? Maybe even if you didn't have me at all, it might have been better for the two of you. If I didn't have you, then what good would my life be? Cliff! Fucking, we're getting real Cliff for the first time. Holy shit. Wow. Mr. Holden didn't let the words hang unchallenged in the air for even a second. He hurried over to Cove, taking his son's arms in his hands. Cove, listen. There is only one person to blame for things not working, and that's me. Cove opened his mouth to speak, but Mr. Holden forced on, determined to erase any question in Cove's mind. I'm not saying this to dishonestly push accountability off from someone else or to throw a pity party for myself. You want to know the truth, so that's what I'm giving you. Your father is the reason our family couldn't stay together. You think you caused trouble? You should have seen me at your age. You're such a good kid. I can hardly believe how good you are. Mr. Holden's eyes were misty as he squeezed his son's arms. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, you need to blame yourself for. I'm sorry, Cove, to you and to Kyra. Mom? Yeah, your mom. His pained face eased slightly into a bittersweet smile. Kyra, she was just so smart and driven and completely bursting with life. It was as if she could do anything. You know, there wasn't a single solitary person who didn't want even a piece of her attention, just to catch her eye for a moment. I mean, it's true, Kyra's hot shit. But for some reason, she had a soft spot for my 17-year-old screw-up self. That's when we first met, although it definitely took some time before I managed to ask her out on a date. Mr. Holden shook his head, smile melting as his recollection became solemn once more. And then we'd only been officially together for about 6 months when we found out we were having a baby. I was so worried, so scared. She was so brave. Aha! This story is very familiar. Holy fuck. Woo! Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's real. That's very real. That's very real. Okay. Yeah, so when we first met Cliff, he was 25. Now it's 10 years later. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. This is intensely close to home. Wow. No, I actually appreciate this. It's fine. It's fine. I'm honestly fine. I'm honestly fine. Yeah. So, Cliff looks this young. What timing? What timing? Oh, man. Hello, Adorkabelle. How are you? Oh my god. Big shoutouts to Adorkabelle. How are you doing? So good to see you. I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna come over and have a quick chat. How are you? Hello, Adorkabelle. Hello, everyone. I am the True Salt King. I'm a variety streamer. Welcome to Feels Raider. Yeah, you guys have entered into a Feels moment. Woohoo! We are playing an amazing visual novel called Our Life Beginnings and Always. It is super wholesome. It's super beautiful, queer friendly, gender positive, just an amazing wholesome story. And I highly recommend it to anybody who enjoys a visual novel. But you got here just in time for a very, very serious moment. One of the rare, like, super serious moments in this story that is, like, a bit heavier. Wow, I need to throw that on my list. I love me a visual novel. So the best part is, Adorkabelle, the main game is completely free. It has DLC, but the DLC still only talks up to about $15. And you're going to get a solid, like, 16 to 20 hours out of it. This is my first visual novel, and I feel like it's ruined visual novels for me. I don't know how anything's going to compare, just in terms of how much amazing content this has. Yeah, Mara has put 300 hours into it. It is an amazing game with a lot of replayability. Highly recommended. How was Coffee Talk? I don't know much about it. Can you tell me a little bit about it? This is giving me a moment to recollect myself. Because the scene that's happening is actually, not only is it intense, but it's kind of close to home for me too. So, yeah, all the DLC is under $16 Canadian, including tax. Yeah, exactly. Super cheap. Super cheap. Woof. The TLDR is the game starts when you are at the age of 8, and it goes through different steps, 5 years. The first step, you're 8 years old, and a boy moves in across the street, and you become best friends. Possibly more. Who knows one day. The second step, you're 13, and then in the third step, you are 18. And then there's a fourth step that's kind of like an epilogue at the age of 23. As you grow with all of your friends and possible love and romance interests and your family, and it's super wholesome and wonderful. Coffee Talks. You play as a barista and serve coffee to people who have problems. However, there's these people are more like fantasy creatures that have a creative spin on them. Oh my god, Adorkabelle, that sounds really fucking cool. Canned, what did you miss? You've missed some bombshells, my dude. Oh, you've missed some bombshells. I'm gonna try and give a quick synopsis. So, we are officially dating Cove Holden, who is our next door neighbor, and the love interest you can have in the game. We're officially dating. We're 18. It's really cute. It's a big old cute gay relationship. Cove officially came out. He identifies as demisexual and panromantic. He came out to us, and it's adorable, and it was really wholesome and a great moment. Our best friends had a fight, and we solved it. We found out that Cove's dad, Mr. Holden, is a literal card shark. And what I predicted from the beginning, he made his money by being like a big fucking gambler. Like, he's a card shark. He's good. So far, I've met 4 characters. I like the green hair chick so far, but it may change. Hell yeah, Adorkabelle. That's amazing. So, like, yeah, Cove's dad made his money because he's a fucking baller gambler back in the day. And now we are having another serious conversation where we were going to go jet skiing because the last time Cove went jet skiing, he crashed and hurt himself when he was 8 because he wasn't supposed to be on it. So we're like, fuck it, we're 18. We're going to go jet skiing ourselves. And it brought up some really rough feelings for Cove because he's been feeling weird about his parents' divorce for a long time. So he went and confronted his father about the divorce. And we are currently having the conversation about the truth about why Cove's parents got divorced when he was 8. And basically Cliff is explaining that it was all his fault because he was only 17 when they got together, and they were only together for 6 months before they got pregnant with Cove, so they were very, very, very young when they had Cove, and he didn't really have his shit together and was a bit of a mess. And as somebody who had a very young dad, whose parents split when he was 5, this moment kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. So we're taking a moment to chill. I'm good. I'm not like upset or anything like that, but it's very rare to see this kind of conversation happen in a story and for it to be done honestly and respectfully. So I'm kind of trying to take it properly. It's such a nice relaxed game for stress. Love the lo-fi music. And thank you, Adorkable. You're the best, and I appreciate you so much, and it's so good to see you. I'm going to shout you out again. If people aren't following Adorkable, she's an absolute sweetheart, and you really should. I love her to bits and pieces. To that end, let's get back into this. Let's finish the rest of this piece of the story. Woo! Let's go. All right. I love that it's LGBTQ friendly and I got to experience more of this. Hell yeah. When you create your character, you pick your gender and you pick your pronouns, and you can transition and change your gender and pronouns every 5-year step. So if your identity changes, you can have your character go through a transitional period as well, which is amazing. Now so I guess a bit of a content warning. We are currently talking about young parents, very young parents, and divorce. So if that is a topic that is heavy for you, please feel free. I will not be upset if you mute the tab or if you have to close or go away. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, Adorkable, for trusting your community with me. But I do want to make sure that everybody knows up front, this is one of the rare times we're kind of getting into a topic that's serious. So I want to make sure people are good to go before we get into it. The only thing you can't change about your character is your skin color, eye color, and last name. Exactly, Mara. Exactly. With that, I think I gave enough heads up. We're going to get back into this tense story part. And then we'd only officially been together for about 6 months when we found out we were having a baby. I was so worried, so scared, but she was so brave. She was my rock, but we both knew the road ahead was going to be rockier. When we got married, I didn't see it as a dream come true. I wasn't about to start living my life in the only way I could imagine doing so. I thought what happened, and throwing my cards in with a girl like her was worth the risk. He grimaced, the sentence sour in his mouth, regretting his past perspective. I'd been taking care of myself on my own and getting by, and then all of a sudden I was going to have a wife and child. So I thought, alright, I'd better step things up and take care of all of us. And that's what I did. Sort of. He rolled his eyes. I made money, kept a roof over our heads, and put food on the table. But I was always busy, focused on taking care of things, that I didn't stop to consider what anyone else was thinking or what they actually needed. I made every decision about what I did, and as a result, what happened to the family by myself. Never asking what your mom felt, or even wondering if she might have an opinion. I'd tell Kyra about the great place I'd found and how we'd be moving there in the same breath. Or that I'd spend all our savings and taken out a loan to start this business we're standing in, and even more nonsense. Anything I felt I needed to do, I did. Kyra couldn't even ask where I'd been all day without me rolling my eyes like she was being a nag. I was making sure we didn't starve, obviously, right? Couldn't she trust me? You got into the big dungeon with Dan? Hell yeah, Pella. Have a good time. Have fun. That's exciting. Yeah, this is really heavy. He sighed, his head hung low.
God.
She went to school part-time while raising you, really knuckling down, but that didn't matter to me back then. She could have spent her days lying in bed, not dying, and I would have felt the same. I didn't care. I was going to get it all done on my own, either way. It's so stupid. I admired her more than anyone when there was nothing at stake. Yet as soon as responsibilities were involved, I couldn't let myself rely on her. And you're gonna main tank. Let's fucking go, Pella. That's awesome. combed a hand through his hair, searching for an understanding of his own younger self. I have had a joke typed out, but I think for once I might read the room. Spit, I love you. Or will I? I'm ready for the joke after this section. But I love you, Spitty. I'm not even sure why. Maybe I had something to prove. Maybe I'm the one who didn't trust her in the end. Poor Kyra. She had to spend every day mentally weighing the pros and cons of putting up with my horrible ideas for the sake of peace or trying to explain to my blockheaded self what I was doing wrong. That's okay, I'm gonna help with dishes when I'm done, Pella. It must have been so stressful and frustrating, constantly having to let everything go because I was stubborn and absolutely would make a fight out of it. Yeah, this hits really fucking hard, actually. He snorted bitterly. I was definitely stuck in my head a lot those days. Our relationship at that point was made of arguments and cool tolerance, but I genuinely didn't see the divorce coming. We'd made it through the first few years, and after that I never really considered it ending. It was just how life was. In retrospect, it's clear Kyra kept thinking on it more every year, especially because she managed to finish her journalism degree, and with us being more stable, financially that is. She thought of everything. She even timed it right when your school ended for the year, so the process would be hopefully all settled before you had to worry about class again. We were already talking about it before the accident ever happened. I know I took it really hard, being a sad sack all around the neighborhood, but even that is unfair of me. When it shook out, I'm the one who got everything. Kyra didn't want to leave you, Cove. She never would have. I'm certain she felt like she had no choice but to end the relationship. The business was doing really well by then, so I had an easier time making a living. She was between jobs, and when she did get a new job, it meant she'd be traveling all the time. That's why she willingly accepted me having full custody. She didn't get to be there with her child for so many moments, and you had to spend half your life growing up without your mother, and it's my fault. Mr. Holden closed his eyes briefly as he took a breath. So that's it. The story of Cliff and Kyra's marriage. Not exactly a fairy tale, but I want to be clear. You saw his grip on Cove's arm tighten. No matter what happened with me and her, I'd never, ever want to miss out on being your dad. Cove's throat bobbed as he swallowed. His eyes glistened, glossy with tears that had yet to fall. He blinked quickly, trying to hold them back. Poor Kyra, holy fuck. Yeah, for real. For real. For real, this paints Kyra in a whole new fucking light, too. Not that there was ever anything bad about Kyra, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, there's so much that you don't see, and so much that she is clearly held back, and that's fucking amazing. That's wild. Thank you for telling me. His voice was hoarse, little more than a whisper. Mr. Holden brought a hand up to his face and lightly nudged Cove's chin. Welcome. You're a grown-up now, right? You deserve the truth. That's the least I can do for you. Cove managed a fragile smile. Thank you for taking care of me, for all of it. Mr. Holden brushed the compliment off with a wave of his hand.
No worries.
It was nothing. Look at where we ended up. I've got this whole entire store, a house, friends here, a very thoughtful son. It's all good for me.
I'm so glad.
I'm glad. His voice was still quiet, and he ducked his head shyly after saying the words. Mr. Holden patted him on the back. You could see the tears in Cove's eyes still shining, threatening to spill over. Mr. Holden put an arm around his shoulders, gently steering him towards the door. You should go have fun. Make some nice memories. Cove's gaze flicked over to you. The watery smile on his face solidified. All right. Good. Now out you go. Mr. Holden nudged the two of you out of the shop. You both watched silently as you made your return to the docks. Cove's face was pensive, clearly still digesting everything his dad had said. He finally sighed, catching your attention. He hesitantly reached for the bag he had brought and raised it up.
Cygnus.
Cygnus, I want to call my mom. I'm not going to leave her out of things, and I want to know what she thinks about what happened and all of that. I don't think we're going jet skiing, folks. He fiddled with the straps of his bag. It still remained closed shut. It's not like I don't trust Dad. It's just Mom's thoughts are important too. Cove's right, though. I get it, Cove. There's two sides to every story, after all. You seemed relieved that you understood. You knew he didn't want to be a bother with another delay. Thanks. Then I guess there's no time like the present. Time to ask. With that mini pep talk, he finally opened his bag and found his phone. Cove unlocked it quickly and tapped over to his favorite contacts. Called his mom and put his phone on speaker as it dialed. Oh, Cove, you can have this conversation without me hearing it. You don't have to put it on speaker. Oh, no. Kyra must have had her phone closed because she answered almost immediately. Oh, no, 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 no. You left the shop and Cliff called. She answered immediately because Cliff let Kyra know to expect a phone call. That's why she answered immediately.
Cove.
Hello, Kyra. Woo. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Exactly, Sombra. Cove, this is a pleasant surprise. I thought you'd be getting back to me later. Hey, Mom. You have been given spouse privileges. You fuck. He paused for a second and then looked at you. You're on speakerphone with Cygnus, too. Hey, Kyra. Oh, hello, hello. I'm popular today. Well, what's going on? Don't keep me in suspense. Are you a pro jet skier already? Cove chuckled and scratched the back of his head. We haven't started yet. Actually, there's something I kind of wanted to ask you about.
Really?
Really? I'm intrigued. Her voice was bright and excited. Cove moved the phone closer to his face so he could speak softly, aware that the tone of this conversation was about to change. I was talking to Dad earlier. It was about your relationship and why you both divorced. Ah. Yeah, there it is. That one syllable had lost all her earlier energy. Cove tightened his grip on his phone. It does make sense that the past would come up today. Yeah, but... He tried to brighten up the mood again. You weren't used to him being the perky one of the two. I can't hold it in any longer. Okay, Spit, lay it on me. Lay it on me, it's fine. Mr. Holden, what the hell are you holding on to, huh? Hey! I'll give Mr. Holden something to hold on to. Okay, I'll see you next week. Spit, I love you. You'd only imagine it felt like a strange role reversal for him. Van! Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that, it's fine. Dad said you were really amazing, that he admired you a lot. What a flatterer. She sighed wistfully, and you could hear some interference. Maybe she had shaken her head, but you couldn't tell for sure. Oh, Cliff. He bungled himself through regular, everyday adulting and social situations in astoundingly charming ways. Yet somehow, at the exact same time, he was an ambitious, slightly shady, under-the-table type of man when it came to making his living in the world. I fucking knew it! He made his money on gambling. On gambling. So, essentially, your father was an absolute heartthrob for someone such as myself. Under-the-table dealings and gambling to fund a business. Cliff Holden is a badass, but also kind of a dick when he was young. Kyra likes a bad boy, got it? Yeah, exactly. Cove and Kyra laughed delicately. The tension was broken into something lighter, more familiar between the two. It's cool you both have nice things to say about each other. Yeah, see, this part, unfamiliar. The divorced parents having nice things to say about each other, that's unfamiliar. That's where this no longer feels like my divorce situation. Cliff Holden is a good dad. We'll just leave it at that. Cliff Holden is a good dad. He fucked up. He did a lot of stupid shit. But Cliff Holden is a good dad. We'll leave it at that. I agree, baby. I love the pastel hair art style. Absolutely. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's certainly an ideal world. I mean, I do believe these things exist. He took a moment before continuing carefully. You have questions about what happened? I'm not sure. Cove squinted at the phone in his hand as he tried to think, his free hand brushing through his hair. I just kind of wanted to know how you'd describe what it was like. Could I tell you what Dad said about it? Yeah, Cliff keeps fucking up, but he learns at least. Kyra and Cliff are fundamentally good people despite their issues. Exactly.
All right.
I don't think Cliff would mind. Whatever he told you is probably what he'd say to me. Alright, go for it. After taking a breath, Cove recapped Cliff's experience, doing his best to follow Dad's story. He went into a surprising amount of detail, and not a single thing was missed. That sounds like Cove. Kyra listened on in absolute silence, letting her son speak without interruption. When Cove finished, he took another deep inhale of air. So, what do you think? Kyra sighed softly. We heard a clacking noise like she was drumming her nails on the back of her phone or on a countertop. That definitely sounds like Clifford. Not exactly wrong, but he doesn't have a total picture. He puts the emphasis on the wrong places, I think.
Huh?
What do you mean? For starters, Cliff unsurprisingly downplayed himself more than he had to. He did? Cove's eyebrows raised, his face continued to inch even closer to the screen. Well, since your dad was so praising of me, it's only fair to return the favor. When Cliff said he was already taking care of himself when he met me, he means he was on his own. Cliff's own parents weren't, and still aren't, friendly people. They've always had a combative relationship, though him getting into drinking and gambling as a teenager certainly didn't help. Yep, card shark Cliff. He knew they'd kick him out at 18, though he saved them the trouble and left home at 17. He always found a way to make it work, even without support. I met him a few months after that. We hit it off right away. He was exactly what I wanted back then. Oh boy, Spit. Yeah, I trust you. Uh-huh. We dated, and then about half a year later, bam, you were on the way, Cove. She laughed fondly as Cove clung to every word. I was really optimistic about it all. I couldn't wait to be a mother, and I was more than happy that Cliff was the father who'd be along for the ride. We got married quick before you were born. Cliff's recollection of our wedded dynamic is pretty spot on. He was extremely stubborn and just, well, immature. Highly immature. Her voice raised slightly, and you got the feeling she was thinking back to memories living with him. She left the specifics unspoken. But it's not like I was grown up either. Everyone, except maybe Cliff, could see our relationship was no good. Or at least, not good enough yet to commit to. I knew, but I still didn't want to give it up. I wanted to keep the family together. I thought that if we were divorced, or were never together, that we'd ruin your life, Cove. Obviously, that wasn't true. I just didn't have enough experience at the time to realize that there wasn't only one option for us. Maybe things would have been easier on you if we had split when you were still a baby, but it took me years to start figuring it all out. Cove nodded, even if his mom couldn't see it, thinking hard about something. He was likely remembering his own experiences back then. We were married, but never seriously loved each other. We hardly knew each other. I don't mind that Cliff never viewed marrying me as some kind of dream come true. I honestly just appreciated that he tried giving my hastily made life plan a shot. I was the one who proposed, after all. Got down on one knee and everything. Oh damn, Kyra proposed. That's wild. I like that. She huffed slightly, something between a chuckle and a sigh. It's very funny and a little sad that Cliff still doesn't know why things change between us. It's obvious to me, and I'd guess he does know deep down. He just never consciously made the connection.
It's all right.
I'm not even mad he didn't stay the same towards me. Love makes everything different. But you said... I know what I said. She interrupted before Cove could even finish his blurted out interjection. I don't mean Cliff and I. We were just two kids in a relationship that only ever worked when it was at its easiest. And then you were born, little Cove James Holden. Aw, Cove's middle name is James, we learned. I loved you immediately, and so did your father. Cove was stunned. His eyes started watering as his mouth clamped shut. The inclination we had towards each other paled in the face of that. Our love to you was the real deal. Cliff was the proudest papa. Then, in true Cove fashion, the tears began to fall. He stayed silent, but you were pretty sure Kyra knew the effect her words had on her son. No matter how much time passed, Cliff never got over how amazing it was that such a precious little boy was his. I should have taken pictures of how he'd puff up whenever someone referred to you as his son. She sounded so much cheerier now. A slight smile crept on Cove's face despite his tears. Then again, he still does that now. It wasn't hard to imagine Mr. Holden lighting up around baby Cove the same way he did with 18-year-old Cove. I remember now. When a real argument started brewing, Cliff had a habit of walking away to cool off. He wasn't able to handle it. His son seems to have taken after him in that way. You heard her chuckle, and Cove looked down, a blush clear on his cheeks. You could just feel her smirk through the phone. You breezed over the next section airily. For our whole relationship, he always ended fights by skipping out on me for who knew how long. I don't think even Cliff knew when he'd come back. That stopped when you were born. Cliff stopped running. He was still gone a lot for work, and we still had fights, but he wouldn't leave. Instead, he'd go to your room, Cove. You were asleep, he'd just sulk on the ground by your crib until you woke up. Sometimes he'd pace the room while holding you, or sit on the floor and rock you. He'd stay with you until one of us decided we were ready to talk again. We didn't have a lot of furniture back then. That's part of the reason why Cove was always hanging out on the floor. We really came to embrace it. When our relationship got bad enough that we didn't want to share a bed anymore, he always made sure I got to have the mattress. Yeah, this is really wholesome. I'm glad we're getting this side of it too. He instead set up a spot in the corner of the nursery just in case you needed anything throughout the night. This is like a beautiful bedtime story at Dorkabelle, I'm glad. He gave you more private space when you got bigger, but he still always made sure he could be there for you. There's still no denying, whether Cliff understands or not, he made his choices without prioritizing me. But it wasn't that he suddenly hated me. To Cliff, I was only a wife on paper. In his mind, I was a cool girl he had dated and generally liked, nothing close to being the light of his life. All his blood, sweat, and tears weren't for himself, or me, or even the family unit. They were all completely and totally for his baby. Meanwhile, I was doing the same, though in the opposite way. I did take us being married seriously. I was trying to force us together as a couple so we could be a complete family for our child. You felt like a fly on the wall of a very personal conversation. Yeah, I'm very surprised we're here for this. Cove didn't seem to notice when you looked over at him, his face a complicated patchwork of emotions.
I guess.
Eventually, I woke up and saw what I was doing. I realized it wasn't going to work, not like that. When I was ready for it, you've been dubbed spouse. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The whole family basically is like, you're the spouse, so you get to hear this, even though it's not true yet. When I was ready for it, I talked to Cliff about separating and starting up the divorce process. He was shocked by it, and unfortunately, it wasn't too long after when you had your accident, Cove. Your family at this point, more or less, right? Yep, pretty much. Cove has decided you are husband material. Also true. Cygnus, I don't know how much Cove really told you about it, but when he broke his arm, it terrified all of us. Cove could have died. Even back then, we knew he'd likely have a permanent scar he'd have to live with forever. Our parenting hurt our child, and he was the one who was going to carry the repercussions. You were a bit taken aback to be referred to directly. You still felt a little out of place, and she seemed completely focused on her son. Cove grimaced, and the hand holding his phone shook. Mom. Kyra continued as if she'd never paused. It was heartbreaking, and then on top of it all, we had to put you through your parents breaking up. Taking that back wasn't an option, despite the timing. It felt like everything we worked on so far, make you happy, was for nothing. I chose to believe we'd fix our lives from there, but to Cliff, it seemed hopeless. He failed his son. It was easier for me in some ways. I had my family to lean on. That made it feel less daunting, less impossible. Cliff had only ever really known being on his own, by the happenstance of his birth and then by choice. When we broke up, he knew he was going to have to put back the pieces of what was left, alone. I wanted to be there for him even after everything, but I was the one divorcing him. It was impossible. I never managed to be someone he truly relied on, and I had to remember that wasn't changing. As bleak as it felt at the time, Cliff still tried not to let any of that show to you, Cove. He did what he could to keep your spirits high about the move, your new house, the scar, everything. So that's why Cove trailed off. He had misunderstood the impact his injury had on his parents. You were reminded of something that made more sense now. Mr. Holden had been so helpful with Cove's old Halloween costume because he didn't want Cove to be saddened by the scar. It was clear Cove was coming to the same realizations. Now, with all that said, if Cliff was a completely perfect and wonderful guy, I wouldn't have left him. Even if it was pretty good, I would have stayed. It was hard not to have custody. Sometimes I felt like I was a fun aunt rather than the mom I always wanted to be. I might have overcompensated a little at times because of that. She forced a laugh, but it had an uncomfortable edge to it. You could tell she was trying to blow off a very real anxiety of hers. Cove looked ready to say something, but his mom kept talking, kept moving forward. Still, it's not Cliff's fault alone that our relationship didn't work. We were always better as co-parents than spouses, but I knew when separating that it wasn't going to be even. And Cove, the only reason I could stand not being there for you all the time is because I knew that if the situation was reversed and I could have provided a more stable environment, Cliff would have done the same. Your dad would give up his house, his shop, even his right arm, if it would guarantee that you were safe and happy. That gives the line, I'd lose my mom license, extra context. Yeah, it's so rough. They're so young. They're so young. Though, as painful as it was, I was sure you'd be okay because you were still with someone who loved you more than anything else in the world. Cove lowered his head, tears falling to the ground. He tried to speak. It took him a few tries. Thank you for telling me. His voice cracked, and Kyra made an alarm sound on the other end of the line. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to make you cry.
I get it.
It's okay. He was still crying, everyone could tell, being physically present or not. I love you, Mom. You've always been my mom, not some aunt. My mom. I love you too. Her tone was thick with emotion. She was at the edge of a voice break herself. I am so lucky to be your mom. She started to sniffle openly.
Don't worry about that.
Don't feel bad for me with how it worked out. I promise none of it was your fault, and it's not as though I'm completely miserable over here. I have an incredible life with a beautiful baby boy of my own who calls whenever he can. At that, Cove's tears only came down heavier. Thank you. Kyra sighed affectionately, and you could hear the warmth in her voice. I think that's good for now. Maybe we should end the call. Take a moment. Is that really alright? He tightened his grip on his phone. You could see how emotionally exhausted he looked.
Of course.
Of course, we'll be in touch soon. For now, you'll only be able to keep thanking me or apologizing.
Hey!
Hey! Mom calling you out fully with the soul read. Cove cried out defensively over the accusation, making his mom snicker. Bye, and goodbye to you, Cygnus. I'm glad you're there for my baby. See you. Bye, Mom. I love you. Love you too. Cove hung up. He let his hand drop to his side, his phone brushing the fabric of his wetsuit. The other hand went up to his face. He tried to wipe the tears from his eyes. His face was red, and he struggled to put his phone back in his bag one-handed. You could tell he was getting worked up. And this is why we need comprehensive sexual education. No, Pint. He finally just used both of his hands and sealed his phone back in its normal place. Cove sniffed, and then reached out for you. His hand trembled in your grasp, and you squeezed back. He needed to feel your support. Cove can just spawn by divine intervention, please. Oh my god. Want to go see your dad again? He didn't have to tell you what was on his mind for this. Cove nodded his head weakly. You rushed back the way you came, feet pounding across the boards of the dock to return to the scuba shop for the third time. You reached his dad's store, and Cove still wasn't slowing down. He pushed his way through the door at full speed. His hand released yours as he charged in. Mr. Holden had been walking around the middle of the store checking over things. Immediately, he turned at the sound.
What's wrong?
What? Where's the fire? He froze when he got a look at Cove's face. He worriedly opened his mouth, probably to ask what was wrong, but then Cove launched himself at his father. Cove threw his arms around Mr. Holden's neck. He buried his face in his dad's shoulder and started to sob with deep, hitching breaths. Cove clearly had no idea what was going on. His hands hovered awkwardly in the air. Okay, so even though I'm apparently a high priestess of the cult of Cove, Alice is becoming a prophet. It's true. The fire is Cove's love for his dad. Yep. He looked at you for a brief second, hoping for understanding, before turning all of his attention on Cove. Wow. Oh, fuck. He wrapped both his arms around Cove's back. Cove looked secure in his father's embrace, protected and safe. Oh, from different angles looks so odd. Yeah. It's okay. It'll be okay. Whatever it is, it's going to be okay. Cove kept crying. He inhaled deeply, his voice choking up when he tried to speak.
I'm so sorry.
You always tried to be there for me when I was growing up, and I was mean to you. I'm sorry.
What?
What? Mr. Holden was completely taken aback. He hadn't expected this to be the issue. You don't have to apologize for that, bud. Kids are allowed to be mad at their parents. It's my job to take care of you. I really didn't do anything special. Cove shook his head as emphatically as he could, while still tucked against his dad. You've always supported me, no matter what. You've always loved me. I wish I realized how much you did sooner. Cove squeezed him tighter. Thank you. I love you, Dad. Oh, there goes my phone. At his son's heartfelt confession, the father became choked up as well, and pressed Cove into a crushing hug. I do love you. I always will. You can count on that. I want to be there for you too. They clung onto one one another, absorbed in the moment. Then, after a little while longer, they slowly began to loosen their hold. Cove sniffled and moved so he could use his palm to wipe away his tears. His dad's shirt visibly damp where his face had been. Cliff patted the top of Cove's shoulders. He looked at his son with pride. "You've grown up so much." Cove started to laugh through his tears, a wavering smile on his lips. You doubted that Cove would have ever thought that crying on his dad's shoulder was a sign of maturity, but it was true. Cove had changed over the years. You were glad to see Cove grow, you felt a little awkward, you thought you understood Cove's dad a little better now too. Made you wonder if there was more to understand about your moms. Cygnus just like, so, jet skis? I do have to say, I do think this would make him wonder if there was more to understand about his moms, honestly. You thought back to when you were little and tried to think if you'd ever change perspectives on your parents. You appreciated everything they'd done for you, but maybe you could tell them thank you when you got home, just in case. Cove wiped at his eyes again. You're a good dad. You're a good son. Mr. Holden was plainly touched by the words and beamed at his beloved child. Cove looked away and shyly traced his scar. Cliff chuckled and released Cove to rub the back of his neck. The earlier panic had bled off and left the confusion. I'm glad we had this talk, but what was it that made you cry in the first place? You weren't too bad off when you left before. Oh. Cove ducked his head further down, getting a very good look at the scuff marks on the floor. I called Mom. I wanted to talk to her about all this. He kicked one of his feet shyly, swinging it back and forth against the ground. Things felt really hard when I was younger, but it wasn't just me going through stuff, Dad. You never give yourself credit. Cliff smiled gently and gripped Cove's shoulder with reassurance.
Oh.
Kyra is an amazing person to come to my defense. For me, the only hard part was seeing you and her unhappy. Everything else, that was nothing. He wrapped an arm around Cove's neck for another side hug. Cove leaned into the embrace and glanced up at his dad. Your old man is tougher than he looks. Check out how powerful these arms are. And this is 10 years on. I was in my prime those days. You're deflecting, Mr. Holden. Cove laughed. It was a light sound full of fondness. Okay. Quieted down a little, finding a quick moment of seriousness. Thanks again, Dad. I know you don't want me to feel bad, and I'm happy because of everything you and Mom did. I have a really nice life. Mr. Holden's countenance became much more serious. He didn't take what was said lightly. Cove, you are very welcome. That's so good to hear. Then he let Cove go again. This time they both took a step back to their normal proximity. Cove cleared his throat. He looked at you right in the eyes.
That's a relief.
I also appreciate that you were here for support, Cygnus. What a loyal partner. Dad supports the gays. Cove looked back down, embarrassed. Glad I could be here. I want to be there for you too, Mr. Holden. Thanks for finally noticing my presence. Finally, resolution. You're both so sweet. You couldn't find a way to react. Honestly, it will be an awkward glad I could be here. Yeah, I'm glad I could be here. When Cove stopped staring at the floor, you smiled at him. Okay, get ready for this. Oh boy, Spit, what have you done? Oh my god, Spit. Wait. Holy shit. That's really fucking funny. You can't ban Pasta John, they're immortal. Pint is just like, I will just type it manually instead. Oh, wow, Spit. Quick, someone who likes me, add me to the list. Spit, my god, that coding. How long did that take you to figure out? Holy shit. Please, for the love of God, no one touch that fucking command. Spit, just copy and paste the code so that if it does get fucked with, you can fuck with it back. You can pin that in our Discord chat. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I've got to finish reading this. Spit, you're ridiculous and I love you. When Cove stopped staring at the floor, you smiled at him. Cliff smiled warmly. He nudged Cove as if to say, "Look how lucky you are." Alright. Cove exhaled slowly, his posture relaxing. Well, we better get going. You still have work, Dad, and I think Cygnus has been patient enough. Cliff grinned and waved the two of you off. Sure thing. I'm happy you both stopped in, but go have some fun. Be careful out there. I don't need to go jet skiing anymore. Cygnus, if you still want to go, I don't mind watching. Oh boy. I'll still be here if you need anything, right? I love that you actually have code in there as well so that you can't ban yourself. I love that. I love that. Whoop. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Accidentally ended up in the accessibility. There we go. Let's go back. Bye, take care of yourself. Woo, almost forgot why I came out in the first place. You tried, fucker. I just wanted to see how it worked. Cove waves to his dad as he started walking out. You followed. When you turned back to Mr. Holden before he went out the door, he was waving. Bye, kids. You'll do great. Once again, as had become today's habit, I need to go to bed. I've slowed down as much as my internet. Sombra, take care of yourself. Please get some sleep and some rest. Always love seeing you in here. Good night, Sombra. Sweet dreams to you. Once again, as had become today's habit, you and Cove walked down the dock side by side. But this time, Cove had a bounce back in his step. His smile was soft, but radiant. Thanks for staying, and sorry for how long it took. You did the same for me. You had his back, and he had yours. It was just how things went between you two. Yeah, it is 5:30 in the morning for you, Sombra. Sleep well. He sidestepped to lean in closer to you and wrapped his arms around you. You relaxed into his embrace as he held you tightly. It rained all day, and now it's snowing, and it's going to be a low of 15 tomorrow, and then a low of 7 Friday. Yay. Yeah, that's what we're getting. Those are Fahrenheit numbers, but basically, we are getting... Tonight, we are getting minus 25 degrees Celsius, and it's going to stay that way for the whole day tomorrow. You hugged him back. You could smell the scent of the ocean on the breeze and felt the warmth on his chest. He exhaled and took a step back, his face a dazzling smile. The water lapped at the dock beneath your feet. Cove looked down when a particularly strong wave crashed against it. It's weird to think about my parents' relationship. There's all this stuff that I don't know because I wasn't there, or because I was just a kid, or because I didn't even exist yet. Feels really complicated. 0 is 32, which is both below freezing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is minus... can somebody quickly do minus 25 in Fahrenheit? Like, what minus 25 Celsius is in Fahrenheit? Minus 13 Fahrenheit. Woof. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, it's cold here right now. You agreed with him. Connections to other people were as varied as there were waves in the ocean. Cove nodded without elaboration. He looked out into the ocean wistfully for a moment before he shook it off.
It's nice.
I'm happy they were married, even if they didn't stay together in the end. Glad you're feeling better. I'm late Adorkabel raid. AMC came in on the Adorkabel raid. Let's go. The quick conversion I use for rough estimates, C times 2 plus 20 equals F does not work in the negatives, I don't think. No, I don't think it does. I mean, actually, yes, it does. 25, well, not quite. That's okay. All right, let's get one more awkward question out of the way. You asked about what he thought about marriage for himself now. Because let's be real here, we're gunning for it. Speaking of marriage, Cove's eyes widened curiously as he turned to face you. Really, it's C times 1.8 plus 32. Heading to bed, have a great rest of your stream. Good night, everyone. AMC, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a great night. Also, I'm going to shout you out as well. AMC, you are somebody who I've just gotten to get to know, and I'm really excited to get to know you a bit more. I will be coming by to say hi real soon. And if y'all aren't following AMC, you should. Are you scared of it because of everything that happened with your parents? Cove shook his head shyly. He didn't hesitate for a second. No, surprisingly, I don't have issues about the idea of getting married someday. You looked at him, not bothering to hide your intrigue. He chuckled self-consciously at the reaction he got.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, trying to actually propose would be terrifying. I'm sure planning a whole wedding would be so hard, especially for me, but just the thought of having someone I loved that I was married to, that I'd spend the rest of my life with, that doesn't scare me. It actually makes me really happy to think about. It's okay, Cove, we're gonna propose to you. The both of you snuck smiles at each other. I've seen your world's smartest person plaque. Liar. It's a forgery. My life is a lie. So, quick aside, I do not have a world's smartest person plaque, but I do have this plaque. It is hanging up behind my computer. I'm going to show it to you. And this is important. Keeping in mind the flag you see behind you. The plaque says this. Our captain is always right. Misinformed, perhaps. Sloppy, crude, bullheaded, fickle, even stupid. But never wrong. I mean, not no. That's so salt. Listen, I'm just saying it's the truth. What about you? Would you ever want to be officially married someday? Yes, that's something I really want. I'm not sure. I'd only get married if I found someone real special. Haven't thought about it. I'd only get married if I found someone really special. The only wedding you could picture was with the perfect partner, someone you loved dearly. You never get married just to be married. If you were going to get married, it would be to someone that you truly cherished. Oh. He quickly decided to change the subject after that admission. Alright, no more distractions. Let's go. It's time to jet ski. He's like, speaking of literally anything that isn't this conversation. Yeah, let's do it. The two of you began to more quickly make your way across the boards. Despite your excitement, you were both careful. Neither one of you wanted an accident, especially after what happened with Cove's first jet skiing trip. You finally got to the rental place. You were surprised at how easy the process was. It took no time at all for Cove to climb onto the jet ski with shaky legs. You rented your own jet ski. You'd spent this entire time wanting the jet ski and were thrilled to finally climb onto one. It was lime green with blue detailing. The jet ski rocked slightly as you got on, bobbing with the waves. You looked across to Cove. He sat motionlessly astride his jet ski, preparing himself to start it up. Even from your distance, you could tell his hands were clamped on the handles too tightly. He was stiff and nervous. Go Cove, you can do it! You cheered him on and clapped wildly. His body language relaxed slightly, and he turned his head to look at you.
Thanks.
Thanks! He inhaled slowly and started up the jet ski. It roared forward, and you were surprised you could hear him squeak over the sound of the engine. He stopped after a few seconds and breathed again. After he calmed down, he started it up once more. Cove sputtered and stalled with it for a while, going a little farther each time. He grew more comfortable with the feel. He continued to struggle with the jet ski, but he refused to let that stop him. He kept going until he wrangled the machine into submission. Eventually, he reached the point where he only stopped the jet ski when he had something to say. He kept shouting things at you. This is amazing! Did you see that, Cygnus? This is so great. You had gotten your own jet ski going as well. You made sure to keep a safe distance. Cove watched what you did with enthusiasm. Nice turn! He zoomed forward, and you could hear his bright laugh ring across the waves. You cheered for him again, whooping whenever he did something fun. You took to the jet ski like a fish in water. You were nervous about jet skiing, but weren't bad at it. Nah, Lefteris is either a good driver or a reckless driver, which in this case is a good driver. There was something intuitive about it. You had no trouble controlling the machine and enjoyed the freedom it offered. Wave race. You sped around the ocean with a wide smile on your face. Eventually, the sun set and you had to pack up. Cove was thankfully still in one piece, no cast necessary. After everything was returned, Cove dug his phone out of his bag and texted his parents to let them all know about his triumph. An idea to take a photo to mark the occasion struck Cove, and he wanted you to join him in the selfie. You showed off your best angles, you got into a silly pose. Silly pose! Wave Race 64 was my entire experience with jet skiing. That was a great game. Cove snickered when you got into position. He hesitated for a moment before trying his own funny face. He showed you the picture and it made you smile. It would be a nice memory. His phone vibrated after only a moment after texting it out. Mr. Holden and Kyra had likely been waiting the entire day to find out how this outing would go. And with the news of his success, both of Cove's parents sent back how proud they were of Cove for how far he'd come. I want to see the picture. I do too. With him grinning in the setting sun after facing so many fears that day, you felt the same. Damn it, we don't get it. That's a shame. Maybe later. I get why they can't, but I want it. It would be really cute. It would be super, super cute. But with that, we definitely got distracted enough that we are only able to do 2 chapters today. That is what fan art is for. That is true. That is very true. This has been an awesome, awesome stream.